Okay, welcome back to the table with me, Bob, on uh on a pretty decent spring Sunday. So today it's time to play a greatest of all times game. This is the one of the best contemporary board games. One of the ones that outshines them all consistently, still to this day. This is Concordia. If you haven't seen or heard of Concordia, it wouldn't be too surprising, especially if you're a modern board gamer that got into the hobby in the last probably 5 to 7 years, I'd say, because this game was originally published in 2013. So you can be forgiven if you've never had a chance to play Concordia, despite its venerable status. And I think we'll get into it as to why it's venerable. But when we talk about elegance in mechanics, we talk about elegance in rule sets in board games. This is the shining example of how you can find a deep, rich, compelling, infinitely replayable game in a rule book that is, I think it's maybe 8 pages. That's all. The rule book is stupidly short, is and really well written. The most of the rules. I mean, even though this is a translated game, this game was originally written in German and translated to English. Even though there's a translation going on there, and there's a few things in the rule book here and there that make you kind of scratch your head as an English speaker. The answers are all online nowadays. People have played Concordia forever and ever and ever, and the developers and the publishers have been very, very active. Concordia's got a ton of content for it now, which means there's no better time to get into Concordia than now. Frankly, there's this Corsica map is meant for very low player counts, and because I'm playing solo today, I'm playing a 2-player game basically. I figured why not play with a 2-player optimized board to give you a nice tight game experience today. I'm also playing some expansion content. I'm playing with the Salsa expansion, which is salt. So there's a resource in this game now called salt, which is kind of a wild resource. You can exchange it however you want, but you can't sell it. It's not actually worth anything on its own. You have to actually use it as a resource. You also, as part of Salsa, get some additional kind of player powers that you can acquire throughout the game that give you special benefits that other people don't get. Some of them are persistent and some of them are single use. We'll get into that. This is a bland brown looking Euro, right? I know that, but bear with me, right? I know that this theme is not for everybody. I mean, this is like Roman, right? This is very, very like antiquity kind of game. And I get that. I get that it's very dry looking and especially compared to today's art. This game outshines it. I don't think a super heavy, thick theme layer on top of this would actually help the game any. I think it would be beneficial to keep it as plain as it is, and you'll see why, because there is a lot going on in this game. Concordia's got a fair amount going on. It's not the heaviest game in the world, though, but I fear that if you were to re-theme Concordia with modern versions of board game art, the game would just get kind of lost. And people would start to be buried in the theme and not so focused on how the game plays. And that might make it really hard to learn and all of that. So long story short, Concordia's got a really long storied history nowadays. It's been around now for more than 10 years. This map is the 2-player optimized map, as I talked about, but this game scales elegantly, extremely elegantly, all the way up to, I think, 6 players. The map sizes can be huge. The box, the game box that I have is just the base game box, and it is entirely full of maps because I have bought more and more maps that really change up the way the game plays. I've never played Corsica. I speed purchased it for this stream and I put it on the table. So I've never played Corsica. I've never played. I don't think I played with Forum the last time I played with Salsa, because you don't have to play with the player powers thing. And I just wanted to learn Salsa the first time, so I just put Salt into the game the last time I played it, which was years ago, by the way. So, and it's shameful to say for me that it's years ago because I love Concordia. I would say Concordia is probably my top 10 of all time easily. Um, and it'll never leave, ever. this this game is a forever game for me. I will invest in it if people. Um, I'm probably gonna buy like upgraded coins and stuff for this game and all of that as things come out because I'll bling this game out as much as I can because I just love it so much. So how does it play? Well, Concordia, you are in whatever area of the Roman Empire, in this case, Corsica, and I am competing with one other AI player for essentially economic development dominance. So I'm essentially trying to produce goods for the empire, and I'm trying to do that and influence control over this island more than essentially better and faster and more comprehensively than my opponent. Um, and the way we do that is through a combination of goods management. So I'm going to be producing goods and I'm going to be spending those goods to further the engine, right? There's a hand management, which you see here. This is my hand down here. I'll zoom in on all of this as we go, but I just want to kind of give you a 10,000 foot view. My hand is here. We're going to be playing through those cards. And as soon as I run out of cards to play, or I need to refresh my hand, then I play the last card, which is usually the Tribune card. And that Tribune card lets me refresh my hand. It does a couple other things as well, but at the end of the day, I get my cards back then. So what are we doing? Well, at the top of the board is a market of cards. These are personality cards, I think they're called. These are folks that join my organization to help me do things. So these folks up here are things that we can compete to get. So these are cards that would go into our hand, and we would then be able to use those cards as well. When they go into your hand, they don't go in face down and then you draw them in future tribunes. They go into your hand face up, and you use them later. And so you're going to be getting cards and adding them to your hand. So the more cards you get, the longer your turn can be before you have to play Tribune. So you want more actions to do before you play Tribune and refresh, get more cards. Let's see. The end of the game is triggered when we build houses on 15 locations, 15 of these locations around the island. Once I've built my 15th house, the end game is triggered. Likewise, if any of the personality cards, if we pull the last one of those cards, then the game is triggered as well. Generally speaking, you won't get to that point. You can, but most of the time you're gonna trigger it by building. So in the solo game, this is Solitaria. So I mentioned I have expansion content where I have Salsa. I also have solo content, the solo official solo components included, and that's Solitaria. So I have Salsa, one expansion. Solitaria is the solo components, and those are added as well. So technically, I have two expansions in play here. What can I say? We all start out in the capital of this location, which in this one is called Ilaria. I'm probably not going to try to use the city names a whole lot. It's more important to understand that these are provinces. The color-coded areas of the map are provinces, and I'll just refer to it as the green province, the yellow province, the red province, and so on. And then there's individual cities within each province, and that's where we're going to be building our houses. Houses are really just control. We're basically saying, I have a presence in this city. And you get bonuses to production when you produce rather in that province. Each province, the goods, let me back up. The goods are actually worth a variable amount of money. So when you sell a good on your player board, in fact, it tells you what each good type is worth. So let's go through those. This is a good point for me to zoom in on my player board, and we'll just talk about that. So on my player board, you see I have on the top, there are bricks, and those are worth $3. There is wheat or food, and those are worth $4. I believe these are called tools. It's an anvil, but they're called tools. And those are $5. And then you have wine worth $6 and cloth worth $7. We start the game with one of each resource. You'll notice I didn't talk about salt. Salt is this white bag here, and that's because salt has no direct value. Because it is a wild resource, you can freely convert salt into any other resource at will. And as part of salt, on the board, and I'll get to that in a minute, I'll go over there, there are different types of towns that you can, like I said, build your houses in, and each town has a good type associated with it. And in Salsa, one of those good types is salt. So you'll see salt towns scattered around the island, as well as cloth towns and tools and bricks and all of that. And what basically happens is in each of the provinces of the map, so if I pop over here, I'll give you a better view than that. Here's the whole map. So if I look at the whole map, essentially each of the provinces, let's take this yellow province here. It's got wine and a brick, right? That means that this province, the most expensive good that it produces is wine, and therefore it is generally considered a wine province in this case. What that basically means is if you trigger this province to produce, the bonus resource you gain is going to be wine, because it is the highest value item in that region. You then additionally get more resources for the houses that you have built in that province. We'll get into the details, but at the end of the day, the more houses you build, the more goods you produce when you trigger the produce action, which is the prefect. Yeah, the prefect action. Let's see. In a multiplayer game, obviously you're not going to have your cards out on the table, but because I'm playing solo, I just have them out so you can kind of see at any given point what cards I have available. So if we're looking at the main board, we all start out at the capital city of Corsica, which is Hilaria, and then we move our workers around the board. And instead of actually moving to a location, like going here, you never go there. What you instead do is you go on roads in between them. So if I wanted to move my worker 2 steps, I would go 1, 2, and now I'm between 2 cities. So now on future actions, if I wanted to build on a future part of the action, if I wanted to build, say, in this brick city, I would be able to, because I'd be adjacent to the brick and the cloth. You technically could, if you had the resources, build in houses in both in one action. That's one thing you can do. So moving and building are what your workers do. Now you'll notice I have people on foot, and I also have boats. Well, boats, I can go 1, 2, right? And now I followed those shipping lanes. And so now I'm adjacent to 2 food cities, and I can maybe build a house in both food cities in 1 turn. And then later I can keep on moving 1, 2, and now I'm adjacent to 2 brick, and so on, right? So ships, you can bounce around, but you can never get off of your ship, right? That ship is always just going to be on the shipping lanes, on the sailing lanes, and your folks that are on land, your colonists that are on land, those are the ones that move around the brown lanes. So that's moving around. There's actions that let you do that. I'll show you what that is. There's building, right? Producing, we talked about. We can also just go to the market. We can buy and sell goods. That's another action we can take. And if we go to the Mercator, or play the Mercator, then you get a little bit of money, and then you can also then do 2 trades. You can either buy and sell, or 2 buys, or 2 sells, whatever it is you want to do, but you can execute that trade. One of the other cool things about Concordia is there's one card in everybody's hand called the Diplomat. And when you play the Diplomat, you can copy the action that somebody else took. And so you're kind of waiting to see who plays what, so you can maybe follow along, but you can play your Diplomat and take that same action. So that means they can play a card you don't even have, and you play Diplomat, and therefore you can also use that action that one time. That's very cool. The different cards that you're going to buy, some of them are also Architect or Prefect or Mercator or Diplomat. And all that means is that you're going to have multiple copies of them in your hand. They may have small differences between them, and they talk about it on the cards, but like that's what that card does. Um, there's one last thing that we need to talk about before we start playing, and this is the biggest part of this game. The scoring in this game is something very cool. Every action you take in the game, every card you play is aligned to a god, like Saturn, Jupiter, Minerva, Mars, right? These are all gods of the era. And the cards that you have in your hand at the end of the game, they score based on their god alignment, and it doesn't matter really what goes on the cards themselves. The cards that you're playing throughout the game, that's while you're playing. And then you're also keeping an eye on what alignment each card has so that you know what's going to go on during scoring. It also might mean that you want to strategically avoid certain cards in favor of other cards because of their god alignment. Maybe you want to really bulk up on a particular god alignment so that it scores multiple times, because when you score at the end of the game, you are scoring per card. So if you have 3 Minervas, then that condition that it scores for is almost as effectively times 3. You're going to score that same thing 3 times. So that means, something that might earn you 15 victory points suddenly just earned you 45 because you had extra cards aligned to Minerva. So that's a way that you can compound the points you make just by like picking up certain types of cards throughout the game versus others. Yeah, that's really, really cool. So that's what you're going to find. So let me give you an example. Here's an architect card. This is the Solitaria artwork, by the way, which basically means that they give you the reaction that the solo bot takes when you play this card, and it's built into the card. Normally, in a normal multiplayer version of the game, you don't have this box because that's not a part of the normal game. You just have the architect text, and that's all, the normal card. And they've added this solo reaction. And that's the other cool thing about the way solo works in Concordia. Again, when I talk about elegance, everything you need to know about how to run the bot is built into every card that you're playing. So you don't even have to look at a whole lot of the rule books. I mean, at the beginning I will, because I haven't played a whole lot with it. So I'm going to be learning just to make sure I understand it. But what it means is you're going to take your actions. You're going to do normal things in the game. And then it's telling you, okay, because you took an architect action, the bot is going to react by taking a card, right? And it rolls a dice to figure out which die it takes. Super simple. And that way I'm looking at this going, well, I need to do that, but I also don't really want to give him another house, or I don't want to give him another personality card, and so on. So you want to you're trying to look at like the pros and cons of what you do. And then finally at the bottom is, like I said, it's God alignment. And I'll talk about like how each one of these scores as we go, because I have it, close to me so I can reference it. But this one is aligned to Jupiter. And it has a bit of some of the scoring detail at the bottom. But that gives you an idea of what a standard action card looks like. Yeah, okay. I start the game with one, what do they call them? There are people that you can get from the forum, but I forget the name. But I start with basically an alliance with Lucius Flavius. And what Lucius lets me do is when I play the diplomat, so whenever I show you one of these throughout the game, this is the forum tiles that you get with Salsa. Whenever you get one of these, they're always aligned to one of those personalities. So I talked about the diplomat earlier and how the diplomat lets you copy. Well, let me show you the diplomat, right? Diplomat says use one face-up card of Contrarius. The Contrarius is just the solo opponent in this game. So when you're playing this multiplayer and you play a diplomat, you're looking at one of the face-up cards that another player has played. So they've already played that card, it's out. Diplomat would let you copy one of the cards they've already played. In this case, all of the AI's cards that they have in their hand are just out in front of you. That's what this stack of cards is right here on the table. Let me show you with this hand. this row right here is what the AI starts with. And what it basically says is I can choose to use one of those cards as if he had already played them, but I only get to do it one time per game, because it says react to this react according to the used card. So whatever I did, whatever I copied, it would take that reactionary action, and then it says turn the card face down, meaning I will never be able to copy that card again for the rest of the game. It's going to be done. So I get to choose which cards that I copy with the diplomat, but I don't always, but I don't get to do that over and over and over again. So the more cards he picks up throughout the game, I'll be able to then copy those as well, the same as it would be in a multiplayer game. So what Lucius gives me, though, is I get to copy one of the cards from the market row as well. What's really cool about that is that card doesn't get flipped. That card is just available for purchase. It's out there, right? Because it's not even his yet. I'm not only going to flip over cards that are in his hand. But so instead of using one of his cards, I can use Lucius and use one of the actions that are out there on the market board without having to buy the card first. So diplomat actions are very interesting now as a result. Because I have Lucius. Because now I'm no longer locked to just copying. What's his name? What is his name? What is his name? Contrarius. Contrarius. Yeah. So I'm battling against Contrarius. That's the name of the AI. So here we go. I start out. It's my turn. I don't think I start with any money. I should have checked that. I have it here. Let me look. Yep. Game setup. Game end, depending on player count. Yes. Do I start with any money? Oh, that's right. It's in this like setup guide thingy. Which also, by the way, the way the rules are built are really cool because they separate out the rules reference guide from like the setup guide. So this is like the setup guide and how you like get the game set up and worked. This is actually like, hey, when you're looking up a rule, use this. So you're not trying to like filter through a bunch of like setup stuff and details around this or that. It's just like, this is functionally how it works. That's it. Money, player setup. Yep. Oh, there we go. Yes, I do. Take the start players determined randomly and receives $5. Okay, $5. That's the part I missed. Cool. All right. So let me take my 5 ducats and we'll go from there. That's 5 technically. I guess we'll just take a 5 spot and we'll cash it in as we go. Okay. All right. So let's get into it. I should mention, the first player to trigger the end of the game gets the Concordia card, which is here, and that's just 7 extra victory points. So if I trigger the end of the game, I get 7 victory points. If Contrarius triggers the end of the game, then he gets 7 victory points instead. So I don't want to just sit there and wait and build and just wait for him to do it, because then I'm handing him 7 victory points. I mean, unless I can really rack up a ton of points at the end, and to the point where I don't care that he just got 7, but I doubt that. I'm playing on the easy game today because, again, it's been a long time since I played Concordia, and I certainly haven't played it with Solitaria and Salsa before. So I was like, you know what, there's a lot going on, and I'm just looking for a chill game today. So the Contrarius, the AI, starts at 0 points. I start at 20, so I have a head start, basically. He gets points in a lot of different ways, though, so he's going to slowly climb where I'm not going to move very much very quickly. So that's what that's for. That's to kind of give me a bit of a lead time without just blowing me out of the water right away. There's also some setup differences, like where he starts if you're playing a more advanced game. And the rules give you hey, if you want an easy game, this is your setup. If you want a veteran game, this is your setup. And if you want a super hard game, this is your setup. And there's like 2 lines, 3 lines of text, and that's it. Okay, so what do I want to do? Well, I don't want to give Contrarius salt cities. Not that that's like, he's not going to score a lot of points if he owns salt or anything, but I don't I don't want him producing a lot of salt. And I don't want to have to fight him over salt, because if I build after he builds somewhere, it's harder to build there. It's more expensive. So I want to get there first and spend less money. So that's the goal. Let me pop out to the main view here so you can kind of see this full blown here. Okay, so I'm going to take my first turn. So what am I going to do? Well, I have some money. I have resources. I can build at least once. I have 1 brick, so I can't really build twice unless I want to build in a food city. So I guess technically I could move your colonists to build in an adjacent city. Yeah. I think I only have like 2 moves, maybe 3. Where's my rules? Let me make sure, because I have that right here. If I want to build, or movement, there we go. The number of colonists a player has on the player board determines the number of possible movement steps. Land colonists are moved only along brown lines. Blue lines, colonists first moves. Yeah, any further steps will move the colonists through the city and onto the next. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Okay, good. So it's just one per. Yeah, okay. So I get more movement the more colonists I have. Well, you start the game with 1 of each. So I could move my boat. I'm green, he's red. I could go 1, 2. That's true. I could come up here though. Instead of taking the long lane here, I could go 1, 2. And now I am between a salt city and a food city. 2 different provinces, but that's not all that bad. One's in this gray province and one's in the blue province. But that's not bad for scoring reasons later. I'll get into that. It's a little trickier for production, but that's okay. So I'm tempted to go here, and here's why. If I, oh no, I take that back. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. No, I don't. And here's why. What I was thinking of is I could build in this food city and in the salt city, because building in salt requires a lot of resources, like wine and tools and a brick, if memory serves. But building in food, I thought only required like food and money, but it's not that. I was thinking of bricks. So I would want salt and bricks next to each other. And I'm looking around the board and I don't really see that. So in order to build right out of the gate twice, I don't think I can really do it, because I need bricks to build almost any house. I mean, that makes sense logically. So I think instead I'm just going to try to take this close salt town away from him. I don't want him to have to be able to build there easily. So, and that's where I need Salsa rules for just a second, because I don't remember what it costs to build a salt town. Building 1 plus wine, 1 tool, 1 wine, and $5, plus an additional $5 for every house already in the city. So by getting here first, it's only $5. I have $5 on me. If I wait and he goes here, then it'll cost me $10 to build here, because he's already there. So I think, where else do I want to build? I think I want to go to this road here. So I'm going to come out of the city to here. That's 1 movement. And I'm playing, by the way, I'm playing my architect. I'm playing this card here. Move your colonists and then build adjacent cities, right? So I'm playing my architect. And my first move is here. And I'm going to do my second move here. Again, I have 2 movement points because I have 2 colonists. 1 is on land, 1 is on water, but I have a total of 2 movement points. I can leave my boat in the harbor and just walk along the roads twice. I can split them between the 2 colonists, or I can sail twice. Whatever I want to do, that's my choice. So I've chosen at this point to move twice, 1 out of the city onto this road, and then my second move is to this road between these 2 cities. Both of these 2 cities are in this province. So now I am sitting between salt and wine. I only have bricks. I only have 1 brick at the start of the game. So I'm going to now, I don't have any more movement points. So now I'm going to build in one of these 2 cities. I'm going to build in the salt though. So it's 1 wine, 1 tools, and what did it say? It said 1 tool, 1 wine, and money. Okay, great. So no bricks. Okay, so I'm going to spend 1 tool and 1 wine and $5. And I'm now going to build my house in this salt city. So now my first house is on the map. I got there before he did. Great. That's the only thing I can build because I don't have wine and I don't have brick. So I can't build here even if I wanted to. And I don't have any more money because I spent all 5 to build my first house here. So I can't build twice even though it does let me if I have the resources. Hopefully later we'll have more resources and we can do more stuff. But that's it. So in reaction, he takes a card because that's what the architect card says. In reaction, he takes a card. So we're going to roll the blue die and we're going to figure out which card he takes. He's taking the first card. He's taking my architect from me. What a jerk. So the first card on the market was the architect. He took that card from me. So he now has 2 architects. I have 1. That's a bummer. Okay. What do I want to do? What does he want to do? I don't think he does anything. I think I just go again because again, there's no turns. He's just reacting, which makes this way quick. It's very nice. Let's see. I need money. I need resources. So this region is the Orange province and it produces wine. So if I played the prefect right now, I would get a salt and a wine. Let's see. Am I right? I think I'm right. Yeah. Province produces. Yeah. The reaction, though, is he gets 1 victory point per house in the province. And I think that's his house or just all houses. Let's see. That is interesting. Solitaria. Again, I just want to double check that I get these rules right because I'm going to make these same mistakes over and over again if I'm not careful. So I'm thinking about taking the prefect action. And he says, yeah, depending on which, okay. For each house period. Woo. Okay. So I have 1 house. That means I would be giving him 1 victory point if I produce. That's not too bad right now. Salt and a wine isn't bad. I need money, but I have the storage room. I could convert the salt. Ooh, hold on. Could I have built twice? No, I need the money. I need the money. Okay, well, in this case, I think I will produce. I might as well. So I'm going to play my prefect. I'll put that face down so I don't think about it later. I'm going to play my prefect. And what the prefect says is the province, 1 province of your choice produces, and then I take the bonus good twice. And so let's walk through that. The province I'm in is this orangey yellowish, I'm going to call it orange, province, and it produces. I take the bonus good 2 times. Well, every house in a province also produces, so I get a salt, and because the bonus, that's this here, and I'll zoom in on the map so you can see this. This shows you the bonus, and like I talked about before, each province has 1 good that it produces that is kind of its thing. It's known for this in its region, and that's the most expensive good in the region. So in this region, the most expensive good is wine. So this is the bonus in that province when it produces. So I have a house. The house produces salt for me. Great. And now the bonus also pays out for the person who triggers the action. In my case, wine. So I would normally get wine once, but because I played my prefect, this particular prefect says take the bonus good 2 times, I'm now going to get 2 wine instead of just 1. So here's how it's going to work. I'm going to get those salt for being there. So I'll come to my player board so you can see. I just took the second salt, this one, and then the 2 wine. that I just got, I will now take and I'll put that in my storage. Oh, I should have mentioned that when he took that card, all those cards slide down, and I should do that. So I'll do that right now. But that's that. Now, the last thing we do is we come over here and we look at this chart. And every time a province produces, we flip over its bonus marker to remind everyone that it has already produced. The second action you can take when you take a prefect action is to instead take all of the bonus coins from all of the different provinces that have already produced this round, because you'll notice on the back of every one of these, there's some money listed here. So you would get $2 for this province if you played prefect right now. But because we're playing on a short map, a small map, we also get a stock base $2. So we get $2 plus the number of ones that have already produced. So in this case, we would get the base plus 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, we get $4. And then these would reset. So essentially, the more you cause the island to produce and the more provinces have produced for you, the more juicy it is for somebody to come along and just collect all that money off the island. So you kind of want to be balancing, do I dare produce one more time? Because that means it's going to be really attractive to whoever comes along and does that. Yeah. Okay. Well, let me reset the cards first of all. So these should have slid down when he took a card and I forgot. So we're gonna do that. You'll notice there are costs underneath these cards. The first card on the very left doesn't have any additional costs related to them. And then the next two slots have basically a good of your choice. And then the next two slots are cloth. You have to have a cloth in order to get for those two right now. And the last two is a good of your choice and a cloth. And the last one is 2 cloth. So because cloth is the most expensive resource in the game, they're like $7 a piece. You really want to be careful how you use your cloth. But the important part is the more cards that get taken from the cheaper end, the cheaper the expensive cards get as they age down the track. Your standard market, but I just wanted to cover it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I've taken 2 actions. I've taken a build and a prefect, an architect and a prefect, and he gets 1 victory point per house. Well, there's only 1 house, so he only goes up 1 point. That's another reason to do that early before I've had a chance to build up, and then he gets a lot of points. But he'll get more as we go because there'll be more houses. Let me just double check that there isn't anything that he actually does between turns. In each turn you play 1 personality card from your hand as usual. Yeah. Yep. Okay, great. Oh, cool. All right. Yeah, just want to make sure that he doesn't do anything unique. Does he do anything? He doesn't do Tribune, right? Let's see. He does do Tribune. He does have reactions when I Tribune, but that's okay. We're not going to do that right now. Okay, so what's my next action going to be? Well, I need money. I don't have any, so I think we're going to do some trading because the other thing is, as I showed before, my player board is here. I have a finite amount of storage, and right now 4 of my storage are being eaten up by my other colonists because I have to house them and feed them, so they're basically costing me money and attention. So I don't have the room to store other things. I've got to store things for them. So the faster I can get them on the board, the more storage room I have. But for now, I start with 8 available storage. And at the moment, I have 7 out of 8 filled. So, I need money. I have stuff I can sell. Need bricks too. Well, let's go to the Mercator then. Yeah, okay, let's go to the Mercator. And my Mercator says $3. So I just earned $3 for playing the card. Cool. Great. Let me dig out $3 here. Okay, I have dug out $3, so now I have $3. and then I get to trade twice. I can buy, I can sell, but I can trade twice. And I'm just trading at the value here. Let me scoot that down so you can make sure you see it. I'm just trading at these values. So if I wanted to sell a wine, $6, I make $6 right now. In fact, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to keep wine, and I'm going to sell. I'm going to keep one wine. I'm going to sell one wine. So my first one is to sell one wine. And I think I'm going to buy, I could buy tools, or I could buy bricks. I have salt, though, and I can convert salt into whatever I want. So maybe I might buy bricks for cheap. So I think I'm going to buy 2 bricks and sell 1 wine. So I'm going to, that's an even trade, because the wine is $6 and the bricks are 3 each. So I'm just going to sell 1 wine. I'm not even going to bother pulling the money, because I'm going to sell 1 wine and buy. But if I do that, what's it cost to build? $4. Maybe I just buy 1 brick. Yeah, I'll buy 1 brick instead, because I already have 1 brick. So I'm going to sell the wine for $6, and I'm going to take another $3. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a minute. Because I'm taking back $3 because I'm about to spend $3 on 1 brick. And my second trade is to buy 1 brick. So now I have 2 bricks, a total of $6, and 1 wine, 1 wheat, 1 cloth, and 2 salt. So I didn't actually decrease what I have, but now I have more building power. I have 2 bricks, so I can build 2 buildings that require bricks. And I have salt, which I can use to convert into bricks, but that would be an awful waste, because salt can convert into any goods for the purposes of getting something done. So it would be better if I didn't do that. Okay. All right, so now what does he do? Well, I've taken care of my Mercator action. So now I roll this other die, and I build 1 house, and the province produces. So we're going to find out how he builds. Now, this is one of the more complicated actions, because it has a bit of a logic tree associated with it. So let's find out what he does. Let me also pull you back to the main map, because I think that's going to be important. So here we go. So we're going to roll this black die, and we rolled that. And that is a brick. Interesting. Let's take a look. I am taking the Mercator action. There we go. He builds 1 house, roll the Mercator die, page 9 to determine where in the city. Okay, this is the first time we're doing it, so I'm going to take my time and step through it. Roll, yeah, okay, yep. So if he had rolled the white S, is there a white S on this die? There is not. Oh, interesting. Okay, so on a different die, there's something else he could have rolled. He didn't roll that, so that's fine. Okay, fine. To determine the exact city of the goods type that Contrarius will build in, follow these rules. Can only build in cities that he is able to reach with its colonists that is not yet built a house in. Oh, right. Okay, right. Yeah, because you can only build 1 house, by the way. I should have mentioned that. You can only ever build 1 house in these locations. All you're really trying to do is get there before him and pay less money when you do it. And then that causes them to pay more money when they build, right? That's the multiplayer rule. In this case, he just builds. He doesn't care. But you can influence him a bit. So let's see. The number of possible movement steps is as usual, right? Okay, so he's only got 2 colonists, so he's going to build within range of 2 of wherever he is. Okay, so I'm looking for brick within 2, right? 1, 2. He can build brick right there. That's probably what he's going to do. Yeah, and in fact, that's the only option he's got within 2. That's not true. I guess on land he can go 1, 2. Okay, so he does have 2 options. This one's too far away. This one is technically in range, though. So he's got 3 options. Okay, next. If multiple cities are still available, If possible, choose an empty city. They're all empty. I haven't built bricks yet. If multiple cities are still available, choose a new province. That's easy. He hasn't built anywhere. If the city is still not determined, go alphabetical. Okay, I can do that. So this is Paulia down here at the bottom. I'll get my cards out of the way. This is Paulia down here at the bottom. This is Saun. I don't know how you say it, but that's how I'm going to go with it. And so that starts with an S. And then this is Canalate. Canalate is K. So that's alphabetical. And he's going to move. I don't know. Does he move his people? I don't know. I think he does. Maybe not. I don't even know if his people are on the board. I don't know. I'm guessing he does move his people. No, he does. Yeah, Contrarius moves the colonists on the shortest way. Okay, so he's going up here for 2. 1, 2. So now he is sitting on that road and able to build in Canalate. Yep, great. Okay, so he's going to build one of his houses in Canalate. So there you go. He built a brick house. Okay, and the province produces. Okay, so he is in, his house is in this blue province, and that produces tools. That doesn't make any sense. No, it produces food. I take that back. So it produces food. Does he get the resources? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if he gets the resources. We'll find out. I think that's meant to be a, like, it produces, so if you have houses there, you get something out of it. But I'll go ahead and, let's see. Right. Yep. Yep. He never receives goods. Okay, so he doesn't receive goods. The province has already produced, sort of, yeah. Okay. Okay. So he produces, that's fine. Here's what that means though. It means up here, this goods token flips over. So now we've got, if anybody plays the prefect action now and chooses instead to cash in the coins, they'll make $6. Okay. Okay, cool. I get it. If he ever tries to do that, produce or trigger a province to produce, and it's already produced, then instead all of the money reverts. So if you're playing solo, he doesn't actually get the money. He just prohibits you from getting the money. So you have to be careful because the more he's allowed to build and trigger production, the more the odds are that he will essentially rob you of the opportunity to get that money. And depending on how long you let this go, this could be very lucrative. So you kind of, it's going to be like in the multiplayer game. It's a real push-pull as to how much you risk not taking this money. So right now it's at $6. So I'm willing to let it slide for now, but here we go. Okay, so that was Mercator, my third action. I have a farmer, but I don't have any farms. I should fix that. I should build up in the farming area too. I get double food when I do that, but I need money right now. That's why I need to build in that, in this kind of either wine or cloth or one of those, because I need to be able to just, so what I should do is I should build the wine here so that when this province produces, I'll get salt and a wine and then another wine for the bonus. But this province is already built, so I got to be, or already produced this round, so I got to be a little careful because I won't be able to trigger this to get anything for it right now. Instead, I could come over here and build in this red province in the middle. And if I do that, then I get cloth when I trigger it later. Tough call. I do have I have the movement to be able to get over there. And then if I'm standing here, I'm between here, this tool and this cloth. I don't know though. Part of me's like, maybe I just move the boat and then build this wine. But building in multiple provinces is good because there's some scoring that basically says the more houses you have in more provinces, the more points you make. So, okay, I think I've answered my own question. I want to build. I don't have another architect because he stole my architect card because he's a jerk. I was gonna pick that card up. I could diplomat that. If I do that, he takes another card. Is that bad? Well, what cards are up there? Let's take a look at the cards that are up there right now. The free one is a prefect, which will let me produce again. Not a bad thing. The one that cost me a resource is a mercator. Okay. But it makes five. It says you get $5 instead of 3. So it's a better mercator than the one that I have. This is a diplomat. Use one face-up card of Contrarius. So it's no different than the one that I currently have. Okay. Colonist. So colonist cards are cool. You don't start with any. And colonists each. Take one colonist or... Okay. That's a weird way to put that. Oh, I see. I get to actually build a colonist is what that means. Okay. So if I get that colonist card, I have one fabric right now. I have one cloth. And it costs the cloth to buy that card. There is a chance that if I trigger his architect, that he takes that colonist from me. The only other way to get colonists is when you tribune. So you have to basically wait until you're ready to refresh your hand to be able to build another colonist. If I have that card, I can build a colonist whenever I want. So it's not the end of the world if he takes that card. It would be nice to have it, though. Oh, hey. Nice to see you. Oh, I'll tell you what, so far, I really like it. I really like the solo mode so far. And the reason why is, as somebody put it recently, you love a solo mode that gets out of the way. This solo mode, the AI doesn't even take a turn. The AI simply reacts to what you do. And all the reactions are printed on the cards you're playing. So you don't, once you learn the rules, which I'm flipping through the book right now just to learn them the first time, but once you learn the rules, it's just like pop, pop, pop. Oh, he does this, he does that. I do this, he does that. I do this, he does that. Done. All right there. So there's no turns. You don't step away from anything. You just go, I did this, he does that. Okay. Next, I do this, he does that. Okay, great. It is the smoothest, cleanest AI opponent I have yet found. And I haven't played with this AI before. I bought it, I put it in the box, and I haven't touched it since. So right now, I'm extremely impressed with it. And so far, at the moment anyway, it's playing very much like a human player. So, very cool. I can predict it, though. I mean, there's some things about it, like I know he's always going to do this thing, but okay, fine. But he's doing everything that a human player would do. So you're not going to get away from him. You're not really going to be able to dodge him for long. So like, you have to work him. You have to basically say, well, I don't care if he takes a card right now. It's better that he takes a card because now I get to take another architect action. Okay. You're making similar trade-offs when you play against a human. So I think it's great. The solo mode, I think, is far superior than a lot of the other solo modes that I've played. I don't like... There are certain solo mode designers. Yeah, exactly. There are certain solo mode designers that essentially design their solo mode like their own little mini game. They even have like a really complicated flowchart like board and pieces moving around and conversions, and that can be fun if you don't mind the another sub mini game bolted onto your core game that you like already. But if you really just want to focus on playing that really cool game that you already love, there's a lot of upkeep and mental overload that I don't like with that kind of approach. I much prefer this kind of thing. So there you go. That's my initial take on on this. So we'll see how it goes. But so far, I'm really liking it. All right, so I think I want to diplomat one of his architects and build again. Do I want to do that, or do I want to get that colonist first? Yeah. Let's just get it built. Let's get it built. Yeah. Do I have the money? I have $6, and I want to build wine. I don't have all of the money that I need, though. That's a troublesome problem. I think I'm going to be stuck building one house at a time for a little while. I don't think there's really much around that because I need to be able, I could diplomat a prefect though and trigger another one, but I'd rather do that after I build, right? Because after I build another house, because then I'll get more goods for it. This is annoying. Okay, I'm going to build that cloth then. If I can only build one, I'm going to build a cloth. And I'm going to do it in a different province, which will help me score better. So, yes, we are going to play our diplomat. So we're playing our diplomat. Use one face-up card of Contrarius. Don't forget, though, now that I'm thinking about this, I do have my special player power, which is my association with Lucius. Lucius lets me diplomat, because again, this applies to the diplomat action, any of the face-up market cards as well. So I don't necessarily have to diplomat one of Contrarius's cards because I have this special ability. Very cool. So with that in mind, let's take a look at what we might want to copy. Let's take a close look, in fact. We'll come there. Yeah. Well, we know we want to put another colonist out. So I could diplomat and use the colonist, but I have the goods enough to build a colonist now. So why don't I just wait and get the colonist out at the end of the round rather than spending the diplomat on that? There isn't another architect up there right now. So, and I want to build. So I think we're going to just go ahead and diplomat Contrarius this time. So we'll come over to Contrarius and we'll see his two architects. He's got two. Are they any different? No, they're functionally the same. Okay. So we're gonna play our diplomat. That's gonna go in my discard pile. We're gonna turn over his architect because we have now diplomated that card and can't be diplomated ever again. Now I get to build like as if I had another architect in my hand. So that means I get to move twice because I have two colonists. And I'm going to move 1, 2. You can't see that. So I have moved from here to here. So now I'm on this road right there. I'm standing between this tool city and this cloth city. So that was my 2 movement. And so now I'm going to build a house. So I'm going to build a house here in this cloth city. And this card is our little handy dandy reference card that shows you how much it costs to build stuff. I am building in a cloth city. So it's going to cost me a brick, a cloth, and $5. And that lets me put a house in a cloth city. So there you go. Okay, so a brick, a cloth, and 5 of my $6. I'm down to $1. And now I have a house in this cloth city. Very cool. Okay, now his reaction is that he takes a card from the market row. And to do that, he rolls this blue die. I rolled a 5, so he is going to take a really good card that I'm mad at him for taking. He's going to take number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's taking the Smith. For reference, this is what these specialists do. Doesn't matter where you have it, anywhere on the island of Corsica, if you have houses in tool cities, those tool cities produce for you. So without turning anything over, without activating a province, without doing anything, you just get all of your tools produced. Boom. When you play that card. Very cool card. I'm really bummed that he has it, but the good news is I can diplomat it later, so it doesn't matter. Um, so okay, we cheat those 2 cards down and we fill back in the row. And an architect comes out. Isn't that funny? Okay. So not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. So here's where he landed. Just a quick note. His Smith that he just got is added to his list of cards that I can use my diplomat on later. That's how that works. He does get victory points for those cards, though, so I have to be careful. Okay, so what do we have left? Well, we have a farmer, a senator. We haven't talked about getting cards yet. Probably should. We have a prefect, and we have a tribune. Tribune is that card that lets you refresh your hand. So we're going to be playing that one last. So in effect, we really have a prefect, a farmer, and a senator. Senator lets you buy cards from the market. Farmer lets you produce if you have all of your farms, kind of like that Smith does for him with his metal cities, with his tool cities. I get to do the same thing with food if I have food cities, which I don't. And then prefect, which lets you produce again. Well, I don't really care about producing at the moment. I mean, I technically have the storage room to produce. It would be good to get some cloth back again. But let's see. I can't really play the farmer. There's no point in playing the farmer. So that's technically not an option for me right now. I could play the senator or I could produce. Those are really my 2 choices. If I play the senator, he gets to build a house. And that's distressing. He is within range of assault city right now, which chances are he will choose. Well, technically, here's the die he rolls if he does this, and only if he rolls the S does he build in salt if he's able to. So it's an 11% chance. So he's not guaranteed to build salt. Maybe I'm being overly paranoid. And it's not the end of the world if he does. He's going to ultimately build in a lot of these different cities before it's over. So let's take a look. Is there anything I want to trade a resource for? The only thing I can trade for is, realistically, I can trade my wine. And I don't really want to trade wine because wine is worth a lot. Wine is worth $6. So if I'm going to do anything, I'm going to take this free prefect. Let's take a look. Do I want to do that? I already start with 2 prefects. Do I need a third? No, not really. Maybe I just let him continue to bleed some of the cards down. But he's not guaranteed to take the cheapest one. I don't know. What should I do? On the other hand, the more cards you play on a given round, the better your choices are when you go to the forum. I probably can't fit this whole thing on the same close-up camera. I'll try, but let me just try to move that all the way over here. Now, you probably can't see all of that. But what you can see part of that. So I'll give you the first 3. So if I look at the first 3, at the bottom it says, if you've already played 4 cards before you tribune, rather, then you can grab this person to help you do something for the rest of the game. If you've already played 6, then you get this person who will help you for the rest of the round. Or you can choose between them. And the more cards you play before you tribune, the more options you have at the forum to get these tiles. I like this one because it gives me 4 extra storage permanently for the rest of the game. That's not a trivial thing. Like, that's a really cool thing to have. But I would have to have played 10 cards before I tribune in order to get access to that right now. I don't even have 10 cards. So I think it's better that I do go ahead and get a card, because more cards opens up more options for me at the forum. And the more forum stuff you have, the more abilities you have, to stretch things a little bit. And some of those can be very powerful. So I think I will. I think I will just go ahead and play the Senator. Senator looks like that. It says purchase up to 2 cards. That's it. Into your hand. Cool. In reaction, Contrarius gets to build a house. All right. So like I said, I'm going to take the free prefect. It makes everything cheaper, and some of the other cards that are deeper on the list here, I want more. So I'd rather just do that. So that becomes another card that I get to play before the end of before I have to tribute. I'm not going to purchase another one because I don't want to spend any goods right now. So I'm just going to take the one freebie, and that's it. Down we go. Did it cost me anything? It might have cost me a wine, though. Hold on, I might have gotten that wrong. Let's take a look. If I did, then I might spend the wine on it because I do have the wine to spare. But let me check. Let me see if that is the case. I think that is the case, but form cards, salsa. No, these are regular cards. Okay. No, I did the, what did I do? Senator, right? Yeah. Yep, okay, the price of the card. Player might purchase up to 2 personality cards from the display on the game board and take them into their hand. The price of the card is the sum of the goods depicted on the inside of the red field of the card, plus the goods depicted beneath the card's position on the board. It isn't a free card. This is the card that I bought, and this is the price of that card. The red box on the bottom is the price of the card. So at minimum, I have to pay that. And then I have to pay based on where it is in the market as well. So because I bought it from the free section, the only thing I have to pay is this wine. Well, it's a good thing that I have a spare wine to spend. I still think it's worth getting extra cards. At the end of the day, I need more cards so I can have longer turns, or rounds rather. So Senator is what I'm playing. He now builds. Let's find out where he builds. He builds again in a wine city. Now, let's take a look at where he builds. Where he builds. We deal with that again. If we look on our little handy-dandy cheat sheet, he builds within reach. Well, we know that. 2 steps. Well, he can make it to this wine over here. Remove this. In fact, I think I can position that just so that you can actually see the whole board without having to, yeah, great. Okay, cool. All right, so he can reach this wine. He can't reach this one. No, he can. 1, 2. Yeah, this is these 2, and can he reach this one? He can because his boat can get there. So he can reach all 3. This is Favoni Portus. This is Lavka. And this is Polania. Well, Alavka is A. Is that right? Okay, so they're all 3 empty for him. They're within reach. There are new provinces for him. He's never built in any of those 3. So it is just alphabetical. He's going to go here. So he's going to go 1, 2. Well, now he's here, and now he gets to build there. Boom. Done. Okay. Thank you, handy-dandy reference card. Now I have 2 prefects. One of the regions that I'm in has produced, and the other one has not. So what I could do is I could spend one of my 2 prefects to produce in the one region that I haven't already produced in to get the cloth that's there. And because it's in a region that is known for cloth, I get to take the bonus action. So I would get 2 cloth, one for my house and one for the region. Very cool. So let's do that. There's the prefect. Now, yeah, okay, great. They're the same card. Cool. One province produces, take the bonus good. Perfect. So I'm going to make this red province produce. The bonus good is cloth. My house is cloth, therefore 2 cloth. Okay. So 2 cloth. All right. Okay. So Now I flip over that region, another coin. So now I've got 3 regions that have been produced in. Cool. Now he gets to do victory points. He gets the number of houses in the province. There's only 1 house, so he only gets 1 victory point. Cool. He's gaining on me, but a little slow. Okay, now my last prefect, I'm inclined to take the money because the second option is instead of producing, I can take the coins. And then I just flip over the markers. So what does that mean? Well, let's come, you're looking at that right now. You can actually see that. It means all of these. So 2, 4, 6, $7. And then I flip all of them over. I don't see why I wouldn't do that right now because I don't have any other cities built with houses in them that haven't already produced. So I'm just going to get the $7 because then I can make those other ones produce for me again. Yeah. But he does get 2 victory points for me doing that. But that's okay. I'm going to let him do that. So, $7. $7. Flip over the tokens. Now we are reset again. And he, more importantly, didn't rob me of those $7. Okay, and he gets his 2 victory points, and now he's up to 4. I don't have a farm, so there's no sense in doing that. The only thing left to do is Tribune. This is my first Tribune of the game, so here we go. Here's Tribune. Take back all of your cards. From the 4th card onward, take $1 per card. And if you have the resources, you can create a colonist, which I'm going to do. In reaction to me tribuning, he gets to build 1 house for his best specialist, which I do believe means he will try to build in salt if he can. And then he gets to take a colonist. Because he has a colonist, he will take a colonist. So, and then we roll the dice to figure out what kind of colonist he takes. So let's do my stuff first. I take back all of my discarded cards. Those are all back. Farmer included. It's still there, right? So all my cards are back. And, oh, right. It was just the farmer, right? Farmer was left. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. So it said from the 4th card onward. So that means 4, 5, 6, 7. So $4. I get $4. I'll take a 5 and give back a 1. I got $4 because that's how many cards I had. I had played 7 cards, not quite 8, but that's okay. So let's take a good look at this form again. That means I can choose to take one of these 2. Now, the thing to be aware of is in playing against Contrarius, the solo, he will take the leftmost after I make my choice, and everything will slide down. So if I take this, that means he's going to take that, and vice versa. And all that means is that he gets points at the end of the game for every one of these tiles, but it means denying me the choice to take one of these. This one applies to the prefect, and so does this. I have a couple of prefects, so that's good. I can use it as a diplomat for the rest of the game if I take that tile. That's powerful. Considering I have 2 or 3 and I don't always necessarily want to produce because I don't always necessarily have room in my inventory, that's really valuable. This one says the bonus good may be chosen freely out of the province. Wow. So anytime I produce with the prefect, instead of being locked in to the bonus good that is specific to that province, I can take any bonus good instead. I think I'm going to go for using a prefect as a diplomat for the rest of the game. I think that's really powerful. So that means all of these slide down, and he's going to take Linus. He now has Linus for the rest of the game, or that particular tile for Linus, I should say. So these both slide down, and now let's find out what comes out. There's a whole stack of these that comes out. Okay, oh, all right. So what came out for the 8th, this is for the 8th spot and the 10th spot. Every house costs $1 less. That's valuable. And then I would just, anytime I want to cash this one green tile in, it's a one-time use, I just get a salt. And I can choose to do that whenever I want. But right now, that one's really expensive. But more importantly, this one right here, I want. This is the storage one. And that just got way cheaper. So I think next round, the next time I tribute, I'm definitely taking that. Yeah. That other one, though, the Titus one, basically convert one good with salt whenever you want. So you can convert anything into anything. Wow. I guess I use that once per round, or does that mean I could do that all the time? That seems broken. I don't think it's broken. It just seems a little bit excessive. Let's take a look at that. The player exchanges 1 brick with 1 salt. That's the example. Wow. Okay, so I guess that really means that tile would let you convert anything to anything because salt can be converted into anything. So I can buy bricks and then convert them to cloth and sell them for cloth. So I can spend $3 to make 7. I still think it's probably pretty good that I have the prefect maybe used as a diplomat, though, because it means I can, combined with Lucius, it means I can play any card I want pretty much, as long as it's out. Speaking of out, I didn't fill up the board there. So a Vintner just came out. Okay, so what do I want to do? Second round, I have all my cards back. All my prefects are back. I have 3 prefects, and I can use them all as diplomats. So essentially means I have 4 diplomats if I want them to be. That's wild. Okay. Well, I have stuff I can build once. I should get some more brick, though. So maybe I go to the Mercator first. Mercado. I could go get a card. Mercado's free. I don't have the wine, though. I could convert one of the salt into wine. Oh, wait. I prefected. I didn't do one part of the prefect. I didn't do 2 parts of the prefect. I jumped ahead. Prefect. Sorry. Tribune. I jumped ahead. Let's take a look at this Tribune. We need to finish our Tribune action. I refreshed. I did the money, but I didn't get the colonist. I do have food and I have salt. So I'm going to convert this salt into tools. So now I have a tool and the wheat for the colonists. So we're going to spend those. And now I have to decide what colonist to get. I can get a boat or I can get another guy on land. Tough call, really. I think we're going to get another guy on land. The island is long, and there's a fair amount of interior space to cover that can't be reached by a boat. So, I don't know, though. There's an awful lot. It'd be nice to be able to go around both sides of the island. Maybe I do. I mean, it's an island. I should get a boat, right? Yeah, we'll get a boat. It's an island. Okay, so we now have a 3rd colonist, which now means we have 3 movement points anytime we play the architect instead of 2. Okay, now finally we get to deal with what he gets to do. build one house for his best specialist. Well, when you have salsa in play, that also means salt. So if he can reach salt, he's going to build in salt, and he can reach salt. Let's see how many he can reach. Well, his boat can reach this one. So that's one. His dude on land can also reach that one. 1, 2. He can't reach this one because it's inland, and his one walking guy can't reach it. And I'm in the only other salt. So he could build there, but he's not going to choose to if he can reach one that he can reach without having another house there. So he's going to go to Manitonin. That's what he's going to do. So 1, 2, and he builds a house in salt. Okay. The last thing he does is he gets a new colonist, but we need to decide what takes one colonist or card. So essentially roll the dice and whatever the dice does. He gets a boat. Okay. So we both got boats. We're both sitting around the harbor over here. Nice. Okay, now we're done with the tribute action. I just totally jumped the gun on that. All right. Okay. Now, what do we have left? I have a salt. I have a brick. I have 2 cloth. I have some money. I should get some brick production going. I have tools. I need tools in order to build salt. More salt. But I don't always have to hoard the salt, though. I do have at least the ability to produce that. But I would like to get more for when I do produce. So it would be nice to build one of these 2 tools. And I have the money to do that. That's here. It only costs $3 and a tool and a brick to build in one of those locations. So I could convert that 1 salt into a tool, or I could come down here and convert it into wine, which makes me $6. But the wine doesn't lets me buy some things like cards, certain cards. What does it cost? I think it's a wine and a tool, though, right? Is that what I said it was for a salt? It is. It's a tool and a wine. So I need them both. And I just spent my last wine. So maybe I instead build here, build this wine, and try to get this tool built too. So we're going to go Mercator, and we're going to try to get a brick and a tool. I have the money to do the wine too. No. We're going to try to get a brick and a wine. I can't do it with one and with 2 trade actions. I need to get both. I had to give up that wine, and I shouldn't have. That was dumb. I could use one of my prefects as a diplomat to use that second Mercator and do a second trade, though. Okay, that's what we'll do. We'll do 2 trades. We'll do 1 Mercator myself. So we'll do that one, which gives me $3. So I'll take a 5 and bring back 2. Okay. Hi. Hello. And then we get to do 2 trades. So we are going to trade what? What are we going to trade? I think we are going to trade. We're going to buy. I could just buy a brick and a wine. That'd be $9. That would leave me with 1. So I have $6 total, which is not enough to build both of those, but that's okay. So if I do that, then that's a tool and a brick, is what I said. I think that's what I said. No, a wine. I said a wine. Okay. Okay. So I have 2 bricks, a wine, and a salt. The salt I can convert into a tool. That gives me the ability to build twice in one action. So I don't actually have to use the prefect right now. So I guess technically that means I could have saved a buck and bought a tool instead. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Because I can convert the salt into wine. Yeah, okay. Okay, so what did he do for that? He gets to build a house. Lucky him. He gets to build another brick house. Haha, brick house. All right, let's figure out where he's at. He can reach this brick. He's slowly but surely eating up all my brick, which I don't like. That's okay. He can reach this brick. He's got 3, so he can move 3 times. 1, 2, 3. He technically could move there with a boat too. The only one he can't reach is here. So of the 2, he's going to reach out to this one. He doesn't have a presence in either of those provinces, and this is the lower letter, so this is a C. So he's going to go 1, 2. Build a house there. That province produces, so that means really just that it flips over, because I don't have a house over there. Okay, done. Now I can just build straight away. So we're going to play Architect. And we are going to move this colonist back here 1. Now I have 2 other movement points. Let's try to get some boats on the move. So I'll move that off to the side so you can see the island a little bit. So I've moved my colonist here. So I'm between these 2. I'm going to build those 2 locations in just a moment. But I have 2 more movement points, so let's not waste them. He's kind of going crazy up on the north end. So I think I'm going to kind of take a cue and say, you have a nice time over there. I could take a boat and go 1, 2. That seems to make some sense. He's only moved once, so that's a total of 3. Yeah, I like it. Just get the boat moving. All right, so now the architect action is build in adjacent cities. So I'm going to take a, do I have the money? 7? Do I have 7, 4, and 3? Hey, I'll be out of money, but I do have enough. That's great. Okay, so I'm going to spend my, find the right button. There we go. Okay, so we're going to spend this brick and this tool and this brick and this salt standing in for wine. Both of those have been, all 4 of those have been spent, and I get to build 2 houses. We're going to spend 1 here. Oh, those are his houses. No, I'm not going to help him out. There we go. 1 here and 1 here. Now I have a complete monopoly at the moment until he shows up and builds his houses over this orange province. When this orange province produces, it will produce 1 for each of the houses plus the bonus good in that region. I'm short on resources, so let's demonstrate that right now. But before I do that, he does get to take a card, so we'll roll that bone. He takes the first one. He takes my really high value Mercator, but that's okay. That's okay because I get to diplomat that later, so that's fine. Okay, so all those cards come down. They're a little cheaper now. That colonist is cheaper. I might have to go get him now, but I don't have any of those resources, and I'm not even producing any of those resources, so maybe I don't care. And there's a diplomat, which I don't really need because I have the forum tile. that lets me just make them out of prefects. So Mason, though, I don't have bricks. Should get bricks, though. Okay, so that is the end of the architect. That's done. So now I'm going to use a prefect as a prefect. Isn't that funny? I'm going to use it for the most expensive. I'm going to use the best prefect I have as a prefect. One province produces, take the bonus good 2 times. Okay, so I'm going to make my nice monopolized province produce. So I have 1 tool, 1 salt, and 1 wine. Let's take care of that first. 1 tool, 1 salt, 1 wine. That means I can build in Salt City here in just a minute as soon as I get some money. And then the bonus is wine in this. And because I'm playing this prefect, it says take the bonus good 2 times. So I get to take 2 wine. So I got a total of 3 wine out of that. Wine is worth $6 a piece when you sell it. Okay, and for that, number of houses in the province, he gets a victory point, minimum of 2. There are 3 houses in that province, so he gets 3 victory points. 1, 2, 3. Okay, he's up to 7. I'm still at 20. Okay. So my province flips over. Nice. Okay. Prefect is done. What do I want to do next? Well, I spent money on those houses. So that money's gone. I'm out of cash. Oh, I did build a colonist, so I have extra storage space now. That's nice. Need bricks. Need to build bricks. Need food in order to build bricks. So, do I Mercado again? I could diplomat his Mercator. It would give me $5 first, and I could sell some stuff off. So if I do that, I can sell some stuff and then buy some wheat. Yeah, that would work. That would work. Okay. Ah, excellent. Trading in the Mediterranean. Yes. Yes, exactly. Do I want to... So my thinking is this province down here, this brown province, has cloth and brick in it. I could build both of those, but to do that, I have to move my 1 walking colonist down here all the way to the bottom of the island. That's a lot. The other option is I have a tool, so I could bring my boat here onto this lane and then build both a tool and a brick. That has the benefit of also putting me a presence in both of these provinces, which is nice for scoring purposes. But also producing another tool, right? He's got his smith that he's already got, but I can diplomat him at any time at least once. So building more tools isn't a bad thing. On the other hand, I was thinking about using that tool to build this salt. So I'm right here. Building salt does require brick, though, does it not? No, tool, wine, and money. I don't have money, so I need to trade no matter what. So I guess that answers the question. We are going to use a prefect as a diplomat because we have this special ability right now. Prefect may be used as a diplomat. Cool. So we're going to use this prefect right here as a diplomat, and we are going to copy that as a mercator. Now, rather than using his mercator, which means he's going to flip that over, I instead use my special ability to this special ability, copy one of the personality cards on sale with a diplomat. That's exactly what I'm going to do. There is a mercator out there. It is the fourth one. It is right here. And this is also an upgraded mercator. It gives me $5 and 2 trades. Yeah, I like that. He's going to be able to build a house, but that's okay. So I'm going to take $5. I'm going to do this, by the way. I'm going to use that prefect as a diplomat, and I'm going to copy that mercator. I'm going to make $5, and then I'm going to trade up to twice. I'm going to, I need bricks. So I think one of our trade is to sell one cloth for $7. So 5 and 2. Now we're at 12. That cloth is gone. And then the other trade is to buy bricks. How many bricks? Well, we don't need brick for the salt. And we don't need brick for making bricks. So actually, we're going to buy food instead. We're going to buy 2 food. Food is $4 a piece. Yikes. $4 a piece. Maybe I'm just going to buy the 1. I was going to buy 2 to have more for later, but I need that money to build the salt and the bricks. So, yeah. We'll just buy the 1. It's weird. I'd rather buy 2, but 5 and 1, $8. Buy 1 food. Okay. So I've done the trade. I'm now at $8, and I have a wheat. Did I buy bricks? I didn't. I sold cloth and I bought food. That's a problem. Well, Guess I could just build the brick first, but then I'd have to trigger it, and I don't really want to trigger it. There's no province on the island that makes bricks. Of course, that's not too surprising. As a bonus, I mean. So if I could... Trying to figure out how to actually build twice and then trigger once in 2 actions. Can do it if I had enough stuff, but I just don't have the brick. So I think I'm going to prefect again. But before I do that, I got to finish this one off. He gets to build a house. He is going to build a wine house. Okay, what's he going to do? He is here. He could reach that one easy. He's already got one on this house, so he can't build there, and he can't build here. No, he can build here, and he can reach it with a boat. So between these 2, this is the one he's going to go to, but he favors empty cities. So he's actually going to go to the empty city first. He's going to walk there, and he's going to build a house in Polania. Okay. So I have one more prefect left. I could use it to produce myself, though. But I did that once already. And I really need bricks. So I'm going to use my last prefect card as another diplomat. Well, I could just use the damn diplomat. So give myself some options. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to use... I don't think I can just magically keep using the No, I can. I can. I can just keep using the same card in the market. That's the whole point of this Lucius special ability. Just want to make sure that there isn't something I'm missing about that tile, but I'm pretty sure it's not. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to use that prefect. No, you're going to use that diplomat, rather. And I'm going to copy the same card again. Yeah, I don't see why I wouldn't. So I make $5. And I get to trade up to twice. So I'm going to... Do I sell my last cloth? No, I need it to build in that cloth city. Could sell a wine. Sell a wine for 6. And then buy 2 bricks. Maybe even buy 3 bricks. I have the money, I think, for the moment anyway. So let's do that. For my first trade, I'll sell a wine for $6. Okay. I'll buy 2 bricks, 3 bricks, $9. Is that enough? Let me make sure that that's enough to build all 3 of the things that I want. $5, $10, $11. No, it's not enough. So I'll buy 2 bricks instead. So I'll spend $6 for 2 bricks. Okay. Done. He is going to build another house. Hateful. He's building another brick house. Haha. Can he build another brick house? He can. He is 2 away from that one. And 1, 2 away from this one. He's going to build here, which I do not like at all. He's going to try to run down here and beat me. What a bastard. Yep, because this one starts with an S and this one starts with a P, so he's going to come here first. Taking a boat, he's going to go 1, 2. Oh, he can't. He can't come here because I'm on this line. Let's double check that that's actually true. He can move 3, though. He can move 3. 1, but can he move through? I don't know that he can move through. Movement. Who remembers? Does anybody remember that rule? No brick house for him. That's right. Can he move? Colonists, architects. I can move through. Adding occupied sections pass through into his movement. Okay, so it does count as movement. He's allowed to pass through. He just can't stop. So he is going to be able to do this. 1, 2, 3. Puts him in range to build this brick. So that's what he's going to do. And I don't have the money to be able to do all 3 of these now because he just screwed me out of doing my plan. But that's all right. That's fine. It is what it is. That's what he's good at. I know it's extremely rude, but that's fine. That's fine. Diplomat is now gone. That's the risk you take. Oh, and the province produces when he builds there. So that's also rude. I was going to use that to produce too. That bastard. That is the brown one. This one. Okay, if he produces again, then he's going to take that money. Let's see if I can make it so that he doesn't produce. We'll see. If I build a house, architects, does he build? No, he just takes cards. Okay. That's bad, though. I don't want him taking cards because he's going to earn. Oh, thanks for the follow, Blood Boiler. Appreciate you. Thanks for coming. By the way, I should mention, I am now, I think, 2 followers away from qualifying for a Twitch affiliate. Just 2. So if you like what you've been watching, please, please, please give me a follow. It's free for you, and it really helps me out make affiliate. So I'm so close. I would love to have you along for the ride. So again, thanks for the follow. Okay, so let's see. He's taken me out there. What do I want to do? I have a farmer, a tribune, a prefect, and a senator. I could use the prefect as a diplomat and build and take a build action. I have the resources to do it. Do I have the resources to build twice? Maybe. I need to get brick production, and he just screwed me over right there. That was going to be pretty slick if I could make that work. I could get that salt done, though. I was thinking maybe what I could do is come over here and build the salt and the cloth. That might be the thing to do. And at least then, if and when this province produces, I'll make an additional salt. And then later on the next turn or whenever, next round, I can come down here and build this brick for twice the cost. It sucks. But bricks are cheap, though. It's only like $2. So I guess it's not the end of the world. I was thinking it was going to cost me like an extra $10. Well, wait a minute then. Maybe I can get it done. So if that's $2 and it costs 5 to build here, that's $7. I have 13. That puts me, what, 6 left? That's enough to build all 3. I can do this. Screw that guy. Screw that contrarian. Let's see. I appreciate you, Blood Boiler. That's awesome of you. Okay. Yeah, let's get this thing done. Okay, so we're gonna do prefect as a diplomat because again, I have special ability that lets me do that. So prefect as a diplomat. We're gonna use that diplomat to build. So we're gonna. Is there an architect I can copy it? There is. I don't have to copy Contrarius. That's cool. I'm going to copy the architect that's sitting up in the market because I also have Lucius that lets me do that. Very cool. Okay, so prefect. Okay, prefect is a diplomat. Diplomat, I'm copying that architect. Move my colonists. Well, I have 3 colonists. I can move 3. So I'm going to move this guy on land. 1, 2, right there. I like it. And I'm going to move this 1 boat off of the capital into the shipping lane right there, just to get it moving. In fact, maybe I should send it the other direction. I'll send it over there. He's still sitting in dock, so he's not considered in the shipping lane right there. So I'm still good to go. Okay. Get the boats moving. Okay, so I'm here. I moved my guy. Architect now says build adjacent. So I'm for this house, it's $5, a cloth, and a brick. Okay, spent, and I get a house right there. And then for this one, it is now $2 and a wheat because he's already occupying. So, but because brick is the cheapest to build in, it's not that expensive. If it had been a cloth, that would have been $10 instead of 5. So that's a big difference. So because it's only 1 to build here, it's $2 instead of 1 and a wheat. And I get a house in brick, finally. Okay. Unfortunately, he's already produced there. I could solve that by taking the cash, though. But not right now. He builds another house. I should get more cards. But before I do that, he gets to build, no, he gets to take a card. So we're going to let him take his card. 5. Okay. So he is going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to take my architect that I just copied. That's fine. That's fine. I'm sure him collecting cards is not going to bite me in the ass and scoring at all. I'm sure it'll be just fine. Okay, new card comes out. Now, I'm debating playing my senator because I need more cards for better scoring. And I should be paying more attention to my scoring than I currently am. Let's do a little refresher. I think this is a good opportunity to remind myself and everybody watching what the end scoring looks like. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to see if I can't get this on the screen. Maybe that'll fit. Okay. So, yeah, there we go. So, Vesta, any cards with Vesta on them score the value of all goods in the storehouse is added to cash money. So basically you get to cash out all your stuff, and it's 1 victory point per $10 at the end. Great. And everybody has a senator, so everybody has a Vesta. Okay. So then at least one, there might be other Vestas, but then you have Jupiter for each house inside a non-brick city. So I only have 1 brick city. 1 victory point per Jupiter card, don't forget. So if I look at my hand right now, I have 2 Jupiter cards, an architect and a diplomat. So I would want to, if I was building a lot of diversification, I would want to pick up a lot of Jupiter cards. There's only 1 on the board, and it's a console, which I also want. But it's pretty expensive right now, so I might wait to see if it gets a little cheaper. Finally, next, Saturnus. For each province with at least one of their houses, each player receives 1 victory point. The player receives 1 victory point. So that's per Saturnus card. So I have 2. I have 3 Saturnus cards. So that would mean each province is scoring me 3 per house. No, per province, right? 1 per province. And looking at the board right now, I am in 3 provinces at the moment with houses. So that would make me 3, 6, 9 points at the moment. The more provinces I collect, the higher that number will go. So, Mercurius, for each type of good that the player produces with their house, he receives 2 victory points. Each type of goods. Well, I'm producing cloth, tools, wine, and salt. Salt doesn't matter though, and brick, so 4. So that at the moment, for each Mercurius card, of which I have 1. If I get more, then it'll score more, but that's 8 points. And then finally, for each city, this is Minerva, for each city of the related city type, the player receives a certain number of victory points as depicted on the specialist's card. Okay. Okay, so there you go. I just wanted to kind of quickly, yeah, I know. And that's one of the things I really, really love. But I also, now that I've kind of started to lean into certain types of play, I wanted to make sure that whatever cards I get from here on out are at least with the end game scoring in mind, right? So I mean, I'm not an expert in this game by any stretch, but I love it. I love the way it feels. I certainly love the scoring. I really love the thematic tie to the gods aligning to certain activities. I think it's really cool. And it really makes really makes for a very interesting game at the end with the cards that people have. Okay, so with that in mind, I'm looking at the cards that are available. At the cheapest end, there's Saturnus and Mars. Saturnus is for each province with at least 1 house. So that's good. If I just keep continuing to diversify myself, that wouldn't be bad to have that card. And it would cost me a tool, which I happen to have, but I need that tool for building salt, so maybe not. The other one is food, which I don't have. So I couldn't get that card. I couldn't get that card. I do have wine, and that is a Mercurius card. So that would make me another 8 victory points if I had that card. Minerva for each city of the related city type. Oh, I see. So that would be 4 per wine city. I only have, I think, 1 of those at the moment. So, okay. And then there's Jupiter over there that I want. Okay, interesting. Okay, so thanks for the little interlude there. I just really wanted to kind of shore up my strategy for a second. If I took a senator, I don't really want another card right now. So I think I'm going to skip getting a card with the senator for this round. I'm going to Tribune. I don't really have the resources to spare. And I don't have a farmer. Those are the only 2 cards left. So let's count how many cards I played, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I play Tribune, that's 7. So I would still be able to get the extra storage if I wanted to. But I don't think so. I'm managing my storage fine, and this is the forum tile I can pick up if I Tribune right now. If I do that, that seems to be super powerful because this essentially means I can convert anything into anything, because salt can be converted into anything for free. So I can say, build a bunch of bricks, make a bunch of bricks, whatever. And then because it's blue, I can do it whenever I want. The whole game. It just becomes a special ability. So it's a 1-to-1 goods exchange into salt, and salt then turns into whatever I want. That seems like pretty amazing. Of course, I can only do that when I play a Tribune card. Let's be fair. So it's not something I can just do whenever I want. I'd have to do it during a Tribune action. Okay, that's where. It isn't just an all-the-time thing. Not a whenever I want. It's only when I Tribune. I'm not going to Tribune that often. Twice, maybe. Well, maybe I do go for the extra storage because I can convert a bunch of goods that way at the end for 10 victory points per money made, right? Or 1 victory point per 10 money made. Just produce a bunch of stuff. Just build a bunch of things, produce a bunch of stuff, and then cash it all out at the end. I don't know. I mean, that might work. Problem with that, though, is I'd have to be producing just a ton of cloth or a ton of wine to really make that worth it. Because it's a 10-to-1 victory point. So, like, it's not really an endgame strategy on its own. Well, let's see. Do I Tribune now? I think I do. Cloth and whatever I want. I don't have cloth. I think I have no choice but to Tribune. I I don't really have the resources to spend on getting those cards right now. I do have I guess I could buy the wine, but that requires a cloth where it's currently sitting. Yeah, the ones I can afford, I just can't really do. So Tribune, here we go. My second Tribune of the game. Take back all my cards. 4th card onward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so that means 4, 5, 6, $3. Does Tribune count in that? Does anybody remember? I don't remember. I don't remember. I think Tribune counts because it's a played card at that point. It is considered a played card. If anybody remembers, I'll let you correct me, but that's how I'm going to play it. So that means it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 cards. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, $4. And then I get to do, what's it say? I could get a colonist, but that's going to screw up my ability to build that salt. And I want to build in that province. So I think I'm going to skip that for now because I can use a diplomat or a prefect to copy the, where are you, colonist? Colonist is still out there. I could go get the colonist later, but I can copy the colonist and get another one whenever I want. So he's still out there, and even if the AI picks him up, I could still diplomat him, so it's fine. So I'm going to skip the colonist for now, and then he builds a house. So I get all my cards back. He builds a house for his best specialist within range. Okay. For his best specialist. Well, in this case, it's salt. Can he reach it? Where else does he have a building? I don't know that he can reach it, because this is built. Let me go back here. This is inland. And the only worker he's got is this one. So that would be 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. Now he can't reach this. So since he can't reach it, his best specialist is, I believe, this smith, which would mean it's tools. Because he doesn't have a specialist that's better than that. I think it's just tools. Yeah. So if he wants to build tools, then he's going to be where? He's got that one. He can't reach this one, I don't think. Maybe he can. 1, 2, 3, he can reach this one, but it's taken, so he's not going to want to. This is empty, and he does reach it. And so between the two of them, he's going to build here. Because it starts with a P and this one starts with a T. And they're both empty and in provinces he's not in. So that's what he's going to build right there. Okay, what else does he do? He builds... Where is my tribune? There it is. Oh, he takes a colonist. Let's find out what colonist he takes. He takes another boat. Okay. He can do that. Okay. Okay, so that's the end of the Tribune. Sorry, I just had to make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, I have all my cards back. I'm a little worried he's going to try to build again. Oh, he did build a house. But it doesn't say the province activates. The province doesn't produce when he builds on a tribune. That's good, because if he triggers another province, he's going to take that money. And I'd rather he not. So do I take it now? What happens if I take the cash? I think he just gets 2 victory points. He does. Is it worth $7 to eat one of my diplomats? I don't think so. So even if he does flip it over, I can just sell wine for 6 if I need to. Yeah, I think I'm just going to let him reset those if he really wants to. Okay. Strategically, I think that just makes the most sense right now. I want to build this salt, so let's get that done. Do I have anything else I could build? Salt, wine. I have tools, I have wine, I have money. That's the salt cost. I do have a brick. And I've already built the wine there. Can I get to another wine location? Not easily. And even if I could, they're both taken, so it would cost me $10 to build there. So I don't think I'm going to. I was just thinking, I have the wine, I could build another wine. I could turn the salt into anything I want, though. So maybe it makes sense to come here and then build the salt and the food. I think that's pretty good. pretty good. Yeah, give me another province too. Yeah, okay, let's do that. So, move my colonists 1, 2. I have one more movement left. So I could move my boat around, but then I couldn't stop here. So I have to move this boat. That's okay. I mean, I could move it one step closer, but then I'd have to eat a movement here and here. That's fine. I don't mind it. I need to move some boats around anyway. All right. Okay. So I've done that. I'm going to build in adjacent cities. Wheat. Oh, I don't have wheat. Oh, I can just convert the salt into wheat. That's fine. Seems like a waste, though. I could take a quick trade action. Wouldn't suck. But I've already moved. So let's just eat it. It's fine. I'll just eat the wheat. It is what it is. Okay, fine. So first things first, the salt. So we're going to build 1 wine, 1 tools, and 5 bucks. And then I built in the salts. Hooray. And then for the wheat, I'm going to build a brick, which I'm going to use salt for. And sorry, the brick and the wheat being used, use the salt in order to convert into the wheat. And there you go. So now I am in one more province. Cool. And now he gets to take another card. Let's find out what he takes. He takes card number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He takes this Mercator. Okay, he's getting lots of cards. And I'm not diplomatic. Okay, that's okay, because I'm diplomating using the other cards instead. Yeah. So I've done that. I do finally have food. That's nice. I can at least use my farming card to produce food now. I have no resources left, so I should probably produce. I'm just now debating which one to use. I think I'm going to use. I still think it makes sense to do that. So now. Nah, I need to get some building done if we're going to get this. We're going to get a bunch of points. So let's supercharge that. Let's go here. I'll supercharge it at least as much as I can. I'd like to get some extra brick, but it is what it is. So we're gonna play prefect for prefect. So I was thinking about using it for. Oh, I can't use that one. Oh, that's a bummer. Ooh, well. And I can't activate that, can I? And I can't activate my big one either. Could take it for the money, but instead I do have a brand new province that I'm in, so I could just activate that. The red province is cloth, and I'm in that town, so I could get 3 cloth by activating this red province. That's 21 bucks. Just right there, worth of cloth. The other option is that I could come down here, but then I'm just going to get 3 food and a salt. If I come here, that's not great. I can't come here or here because both of them have been activated. So I think let's go ahead and get 3 cloth. Let's prefect, and so with this prefect card, I get the bonus good twice. And so the bonus good in this area is cloth. I produce 1 cloth, and I get 2 cloth as the bonus. 1, 2, 3. Cool. Okay, so now we have 3 cloth. And we took care of the architect. Oh, right. And because we prefected, though, he gets to do something. It was in here. There's one house. He gets 1 victory point. Okay. Now, I have cloth. I don't have anything else. I need to do some trading. I need some bricks. So what do I want to do? I think we'll do some trading. We'll go to the Mercator. Get $3. 1, 2, 3. So now we're at $8, and we're going to sell 2 of our cloth for 14. Okay. So now we're at $22 total. And then for my second trade, I'm going to buy $9 in bricks. So $10 with 1 back. And now we have 3 bricks. Okay. Mercator, he gets to build a house and produce. So that is exactly what I was kind of expecting him to do and hoped he would do. We'll talk about why in a moment. Okay, he's going to try to build brick. Can he build brick? He can. He is in every other brick but this one, so that's where he's going to try to brick. He's going to move this boat to do it. He's going to go 1, and that's enough. Now he's going to build there. Okay. Now, that area produces, but because there are already 3 provinces that have produced. Hi. Hello, Poppy. Let me just, this is a different bit because it's not something I normally deal with. This is an odd little rule about how he works. Let's see. If the province has already produced, however, only when there are at least 3 bonus marks. Interesting. So it doesn't just a blanket only after 3. It's if he tries to produce and it's already produced and there are a certain number of provinces that have already produced, then they reset. Oh, okay, good. Well, that's nice. So he is going to mark this as produced. That's fine. That's good for me because now I have access to more money than I thought. Okay. So now I have the choice, though. If I want to produce goods, and I need to in order to build, I need my provinces to reset. So why don't I, right? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, $9 if I prefect right now and reset the provinces. Yeah, I like it. We're playing that one. And we're taking the second choice, which is take the coins, activate all the bonus markers. Okay. And he gets 2 victory points. So let's just go ahead and give him 2 victory points right now. 2 victory points. And then 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. And then we flip them all back over again. So $9. 10. Pull back 1. Okay, cool. So now we're at $22. And we've reset, which is cool. All right, so now that we've reset, we can produce. So we're going to use another prefect. And province produces. Now the big question is, which one do we want? We just bought a bunch of brick. I think we are going to have my big one produce. And it is a wine province, so I get 1, that particular prefect, I get 1 bonus So that would mean 2 wine, because I have a wine house, a tool house, and a salt house. So I get 2 wine, a tool, and a salt. Okay. Which fills me all the way up. So what that essentially means is I can build a cloth, I can build a tool, and I can build whatever I want from this salt. Now I have wine too, but I have a lot of money. I have a diplomat still, so I could do another architect move. Let me think about where I would want to do that. Hello, welcome in, everybody. Hope you're enjoying. This game's getting a little tense as we get a little tighter on the board. So let me think. I have a diplomat left. I could run my farmer and get at least 1 wheat, but I don't really think I need it right now. What I'm eyeballing is some of this empty space where he hasn't built yet. I have a boat right here. It's double wheat. It would put me in 2 different provinces that I'm not in. But the trouble is I'm out of space. Oh, you know what? I'm not out of space. You know why? Because I tribuned recently and I forgot to pick my new forum card. So I played 7 cards this last round before I tribuned, so I could qualify for these 2. I was thinking about getting this one, but you can only use it when you tribune. So instead, I'm going to get the extra storage. That's the one that I was eyeballing from the beginning anyway. So we're going to move that down and we're going to do that. So these all come down. We refill that with another one later. Very cool. So I'm not out of room. I thought I was out of room, but I'm not. Now I have 4 extra storage spaces. So produce your food in all of your locations. I only have the 1 food. Is it worth spending that card and giving him 3 victory points for 1 food? No. Would like to be able to build in 2 food locations, though. That'd be pretty sweet. I could instead move my boat over 1. So if I come over here, maybe here, I could build in this brick and this food, but then I still need food for both of those builds. That sucks. I wish he wasn't here, because then I could build in tools and brick. And I could get 1 food that way. It's tough. It's tough. I'm just trying to think of ways to maximize my building, right? My 1 on-land builder is way down here. It's going to make it really tough to get somewhere useful in 1 move. I only have 1 diplomat, so if I was going to build... Ooh, this is tough. I could go get a card. I could go get another diplomat. Saturnus, right? That's what I said. Saturnus is... Let me look. Saturnus is for each province with at least 1 house. That wouldn't suck. So I could go get a 2nd diplomat. I play my senator. Let's play my senator. I have extra resources right now. I don't really want to spend wine to go get a colonist, but I could. Minerva. Get a mason. I don't really have a lot of brick right now, but the trick with doing that, if I get another card, I have to give up my tool, because the diplomat requires a tool to buy it. That sucks. I really want that extra. I really want that extra diplomat for this trick, but that would really curtail my building for this round. Because what I really want to do, ideally, is what I want to try to get to is sitting right here, which would let me, which I know what I could do. If I had 2 diplomats, what I could do is get a new settler, right? Go run the farm, get the wheat, use the wheat and the tool. But then I wouldn't have the tool. I could still do it. Run the farmer, get the wheat, get the colonist, move the colonist during the build, put it here, build the tool and the cloth in one build. I bet you I could do it still. But I still need that second diplomat. I just don't know how else I can do it. And that's going to kill me, I think. Maybe not. Maybe not. You know what? Let's try it. Let's see what happens. Why not? Let's see what happens. So we're going to run our senator. We're only going to buy 1 card. And we're going to buy this diplomat. This diplomat costs a tool. So we'll spend a tool to do it. Okay. So now we have this diplomat. Senator goes away, but not before he gets to build a house. So let's find out where he builds. He builds in a food. Okay, so where he's currently at, let's move to the side here. Okay, so where he's currently at is, he could move here to build this food. So that's one option. He could move here to build this food. That's an option technically, but he doesn't really like it. He could build here and here. So this starts with a V, this starts with an M, this starts with an A. So that's where he's going to go. He is going to come here. That's his best choice. Then he's not in, well, he is in this province. So hold on. His choices are empty city. Okay, well that wins then. It's within reach and it's empty city. So that's what he wants. Okay. Now, this senator just says he builds a house. He doesn't activate the province. So that's fine. Cool. Great. Done. Senator's done. Now, okay, I have 2 diplomats. First diplomat is I'm going to, because I have, I don't actually use that, because I have Lucius. Lucius lets me copy the personality of a card in the market. So we're going to spend that diplomat, and we're going to copy the colonist that's out here, that is actually scooted down now. Last card coming out. So we're going to copy this colonist. So this colonist is the one that I'm copying. And that lets me, nope, I lied. What am I doing? I'm not playing the diplomat yet. I did that too early. Excuse me. I'm playing the farmer because I need the wheat before I can do anything. So we're playing the farmer. I only have 1 wheat city right now, so it's kind of a waste, but here we are. It's just what it needs to be. 1, 2, 3, get a wheat. Okay, I just don't think I'm going to be able to make this work, but we'll see what happens. Because the diplomat, it's all right. It is what it is. I think we're going to get most of it done. We'll be set up pretty well. I don't need to do that.
What did he say?
Yeah, I know. I think let's walk back the farmer. He didn't make 3. I didn't get the wheat. And I didn't spend the farmer. And the reason why is I just don't think I can get it all done. So I'm going to wait to get the colonist until the Tribune, which is coming soon anyway. So now I have 2 diplomats. And I could architect twice. Now, here's why that's kind of dumb, kind of the only thing I can do. Because I need to get a guy up here, and I can't move this one worker far enough. No, I moved red. You mean moved red's score? No, I moved red here because this was a reaction to something I did. and his was to build. So the first thing you do when you build for the AI is you move his guy into the area where he would build. That's what actually moves his workers around, is when he builds. So, I moved red score because that was also a reaction to me using the farmer. Is that he earns 3 victory points when you run your farms. I walked it back though because I thought it was a waste, and it was. I just don't have quite enough. I don't have enough tools, salt, etc., in order to get everything done that I was working on in this path. What I was trying to do, and what I will do, is get another colonist, but I'll wait for the tribune to do it because I don't want to give him 3 victory points for wheat, just to do something I'm going to do in a minute anyway. So I think what I'll do instead is produce, because I have 5 storage right now. So I'm going to use a diplomat to copy a prefect, and I'll just use one of his. I'll use his fancy one. Will I? Or will I use his fancy one later? I think I'll use his fancy one later. I'll use his regular one. So I'm going to diplomat one of his prefects. Doing that. So diplomat is what I'm doing, and I'm copying that. So now I have to decide where on the board I want to activate. I need tools. Is anything running tools? Ooh, this is a bonus for tools. Oh, interesting. So this is a bonus for tools. I should activate this, because I would get a tool for it being the bonus in that province, and I would get a wheat and a salt. A tool, a wheat, and a salt would be nice, because then it sets me up for getting another colonist. So the other thing, no, this is tough, because I'm going to need another tool in order to build here. But I'm going to have another salt. So that's the solve. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to activate this province with the prefect. So that puts his card there. This diplomat is prefect. Prefect gets 1 per house. So there's 3 victory points there for him, because it's 1 house per in that prefect, in this precinct, or whatever they call this. Prefect. Province. Too many P words. Okay, so I'm activating this province. This province gives me a tool. That's the bonus for this area. And I get a salt and a wheat for the 2 houses that I've got. So salt, wheat, and a tool. Okay. Nice. Okay. That was pretty good. Now, what does he do? He got his victory points. That's what he did. So the diplomat's done. Now, what am I going to do with my second diplomat? I could get a second colonist. This might be the way to do that. Do I want to do that, though? Nah. No, I don't. I could build with my boats. I do have bricks and other things that I can build. The disturbing lack of wine on the coast, though. The rest of it's inland. And I have a lot of wine I could build with. I need the cloth for building inland, so I don't want to spend that. I don't really want to do that, though. Okay, so what can I do instead? Let me think. I have 2 storage left. I have bricks, so even if I diplomated a mason, that would be pointless. I have wine, so I could diplomat that vintner up there, but that's pointless. There is a weaver up there. I could diplomat that weaver. And that would give me 2 cloth, which is $14 worth of cloth. Because I have 2 cloth houses. That's not terrible. That's not terrible. There's also the smith. He's got a smith here. And I have just one tool. Might be all I have, yeah. Could get another tool just by producing the smith, but if I do that, he's going to get another 3 victory points. I'm not too keen on that. The weaver he's going to get 3 victory points for too, but nah, that doesn't make any sense to keep giving him victory points. Senators, prefects, I could just produce again. Oh wait, I did produce down here, so that gets flipped. I forgot to flip that. Mercader, I could trade, that's true. I could sell, make some money. Could sell 2 wine and buy 2 of something. That might be the thing to do. There is not a Mercader up there, and he's only got 1 left. No, he's got 2 left. He's got 2 left. Okay, I'll diplomat one of his Mercaders. That's what I'll do. That's a decent one. Okay, so diplomat goes away. He is going to be able to do that. So I get $5. And I get to trade twice. So I'm going to sell 2 of my wine for 6 each. So that's $12. Okay, and then what am I else am I going to do? I could buy some wheat and tools and get another set of colonists. But I can only do one of those 2 things. So I should probably buy tools. Under that logic. I have bricks. There's tools I could build out there. Yeah, let's buy 2 tools. Why not? Why not? Let's just have the flexibility. That way I'm not having to burn all this salt for tools. Could burn it for wheat instead if I needed to. But okay, great. That was a decent use of that. Okay, so he's going to roll his black die to figure out where he's building. You didn't see that, but he's building brick. Can he build brick? He can't, because he's already built there. There is a line about what he does in that situation. And yeah. Building houses. Right. Variance. Sorry, I'm just looking for the rule about if there's no city determined for the determined good types available, tries to build a city the next lower good type. So he's going to build food. Okay. All right. That answers that question. He's going to build food. Okay. The only 2 food are available are up here. Between them, he's going to build this one. So that's the answer there, because that's the lower letter. Okay. This is tightening up fast. I need to get in here before now. To the extent that, okay, so that's that. He goes there. Okay, I have a farm. I could run the farm for the sake of the cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I run the farm, I would, maybe I should do that. Okay, so I've played 8 cards. Tribune will be 9. If I play the farm, then that would mean 10. In the current forum board, the 10th slot is 5 victory points. In this game, right now, the way it's currently sitting, I feel like I might need that. I might just take the 5 victory points. I think that might be the Still no brick house for him. Yeah, indeed. Do I do that? I'm trading 3 victory points for 5, so it's really a net 2 victory points. But in the process, I would gain 1 food out of the deal. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I'll do it. Yeah, why not? Let's just do it. Let's run the farm. And I get 1 food. I have 1 storage space left. And he gets 3 victory points. 1, 2, 3. So then I Tribune with my last card. That means I've played 10 cards, which gives me Victoria. And I'm going to go ahead. So that's going to be 5 victory points at the end of the game. And I get all my cards back. And because it was 10, I get $6. Yeah. $6 because from the 4th card onward, you get paid $1 each of cards you played. And now I get to have 1 colonist for 1 wheat, 1 tool. No problem. 1 wheat, 1 tool, colonist. This guy. He's going to go there. And I have extra storage now. Isn't that nice? Okay. He gets to build for his best specialist, which is still just the smith. Oh, he's going to make that more expensive for me, that bastard. Yep. He's going to build in this tool space, this guy right here. So now it's going to cost me $6 to go in there instead of 3. That bastard. Okay. And then he gets another colonist. And he's still taking a boat. Well, he can't. So he is going to take... do I re-roll it? I think he just takes the next type of colonist is what he takes. So that's what he's going to take. He's going to take his red worker. Okie dokie. That's it. Okay, so Tribune comes back, and this should be pretty close to the... Oh, I have a lot of houses left. See who goes, how long this goes, but hopefully I can get a couple things built here. I'll be down to 5 houses left after this next build. Okay, so I'm going to go with build. I'm going to do my architect before things get any worse. There's my architect. I'm going to move my builder 1, 2. And what am I going to do? Yeah. And then my third is what? Yeah, we'll move over here. My third is there. I guess technically I have 4. So I'll move my boat over here. Okay. Now I get to build. So I'm going to build in this tool spot. So it's a tool, a brick, tool, brick, and $6. Ugh, jerk. And I put a house in here. And then here I'm going to build a fabric, a brick, and $5. And I put a house there. Excellent. Okay, now let's look at this for a second. I'm in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 provinces. I really need to build in these 2. And I can get that done in 1 move if I build from this boat. So I think that's my next play. I'm going to need 2 food, and I have 1, but I have salt. So what I could do is I could turn one salt into a brick and 1 salt into food. Oh, I only need 1 brick for this thing. Okay, that's not bad. Architect, he gets to take a card. So let's do that first. Forgot about that. He rolled a 4. You didn't see that because it rolled off the screen, but We'll go here. He takes the console. Of course he does. The one card that I was thinking about getting, waiting for it to get cheaper, and he took it. Okay. So that takes care of that. Now I'm going to take the cheap prefects. I'm going to just take my diplomat. It's fine. We'll do a diplomat. And we're going to choose his architect, right? Can I do that? Yeah, I can. Okay, he's got an architect, and we're going to diplomat that. And so, with that in mind, I'm going to move my colonists, except I don't really have to, really. But I'll come over here, 1, and then 2, 3. Wait, yeah, let's see here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Trying to get into a position where I can actually like get something done here. All right. So I've moved. Now from this boat, I'm going to build here and here. This just requires a wheat and $1. No, a wheat and $2. So a wheat and $2 house. And then here I can do a brick, which is just a wheat, which I'm going to use the salt for, and $1. And now I'm, $2 because he's already occupying it. And then now I am in how many? The only province I'm not in technically is this one. I'm in every other province now. I have 3 houses left. I have prefects that can be used as diplomats. There is 1 architect left that I could diplomat this round before I have to tribune again. Which means I can build 2 houses, not 3. That's frustrating. I'm trying not to actively tribune again if I don't have to. But I mean, what's really the harm at this point? I should try to get at least another card as well. Maybe that's something to think about, is just spending some time getting cards for this last little bit. I don't know. I could build twice and then get cards. Maybe that's the thing to do. Could do wine and tools. I could do that right away. Is there any combination of that exists together that I don't already have houses in? No. Because I have a house on this tool, but I don't have a house in this wine. I could get into here though, bricks and wine. I do have that. So this could be the wheat and the wine. Yeah, I could do that. I could do that. Why don't I? And that would be the last province too. Nice. Okay, so we're going to use this prefect as a diplomat, and we're going to replicate the last architect in Contrarius's stable here. And so I get to move my colonists. I don't really need to, but I will. Where will I go? Here? Don't really need to do that. And it can't go here. That would be a good place to go, though. I could come up here, maybe. I'm down there. I have a guy there, though. I could go 1, 2, put myself in position to do that. I'll set that up. That's 1, 2. I've got him where I need him, so I could. Where else would be super valuable? I guess just here is fine. But that's going to be green too, so that doesn't make any difference. Here, we'll go there instead. Okay, good enough. Okay, so what am I doing? I need to build. So I'm going to build here. I'm going to do wine and a brick and $4. This is 10, so I'll come back with 6. And then that house goes here. Oh, wait. And that is actually not 1, 4, 6 is what I came back with. So it's actually going to be 4 more. 2. That hurts, but okay. Okay, and then here is a brick. So I'm going to use this salt and $2. Okay, and then I get to build here. Cool. All right, 1 house left. Just 1. And then he gets to take a card. Let's find out what he does. He takes 1. He takes the colonist, of course. And then these scoot down. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's pretty good. Now, the only province that hasn't produced is this one. Everything else is available. So what do I want to do? By the way, welcome in, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the stream. I'm heads down, as you can tell, playing the last couple turns of Concordia here. If you like what you've seen, I'm like 1, 2 followers away, just 1 or 2, from hitting my requirement for Twitch affiliate. So please, if you like what you're watching, please give me a follow if you don't mind. It will help me finally make that objective. So anyway, thank you for tuning in. Okay. So let's see. What am I going to do? Well, I finally achieved locations in every single province. I now need to. What am I doing? I have a bunch of cards. I could go trade again. Yes, I need to make. I could prefect twice, which is probably the thing to do. I could get a bunch of more resources. I could. Use a prefect to use the Weaver. Now that I have 3 houses in 3 Weaver locations, I would get, wow. Depending on which one I used, I could use this one. Okay, so I could use both of the prefects to produce twice, and that would make it so that I would get a lot. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 cloth. That might be a cool thing to do. 7 cloth times 7 is $49. That's almost 5 victory points worth of cloth. 2 away. Just 2. I just need 2 of you. Please. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I could get a ton of cloth. And then I could build my last house after I Tribune. I need to figure out scoring. Minerva's up there. For each city of a related city type, the player receives. Oh, right. For each one of those. Oh, I could buy the Weaver. Okay. All right. Here's what we're going to do. I think we're going to use the prefect. Yeah. Okay. So for those folks just turning in, I have this special ability that lets me use a prefect as a diplomat. I have 2 prefects left. I'm going to use my cheaper of the 2 prefects as a diplomat, and I'm going to copy the weaver. He's up here in the market right now. And what the prefect, what the weaver lets me do is trigger all of my cloth producing, produce cloth at all of your houses. Okay, so I don't get the area bonus for that. It's just the actual houses themselves. So I get 3. I get 3 cloth. Okay, now because I use the weaver gives 3 victory points. 1, 2, 3 to Contrarius. So now I have 3 cloth, and now what I want to do is buy the weaver. So I want to take my senator, purchase up to 2. Can I buy the weaver? I can't buy the weaver right now. I don't have the stuff for it because the weaver requires a brick and a cloth, and then the cloth that he's sitting on to buy it. So I think that means I need to produce and trade. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to use my last prefect to actually produce. Now the big question is, where do I want to produce? I think it makes sense to produce this one because this is tools, salt, and wine. And the salt is useful. And the wine's worth $6 and the tools are worth $5. So that's $11. It's another victory point worth of stuff, plus the salt. So let's do that. So there are 3 houses. He gets 3 victory points. So he's 1, 2, 3. That's not good. But it is what it is. I get, and actually I get 2 wine. No, 3 wine, because I'm using the good prefect. So I get 3 wine, a salt, and a tool. Salt, tool, 3 wine. 3 wine is $18. And I still have 5 storage. Okay. Okay. So, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Okay, so now we have goods. We don't have bricks though, so we need bricks. So we're going to use our we're going to use our mercator. That's fine. So we're going to use our regular old mercator. That's $3. $3. And then I get to make 2 trades. I'm going to sell 2 of my wine for $12. Okay. And then the other trade is I need to get some bricks for doing some buildings. No, for buying stuff too, right? There's, I just need 1 brick for that and 1 brick for building. So 2 bricks. We could buy just 2 bricks and be done with it. Because then, yeah, I think that makes the most sense. Because I have wine. Could sell. I'm just trying to make sense of like which cards I want to get. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll just get 2 bricks. That's good. Now I can build my house and I can buy a card. Cool. Okay, so that trade's done. Now, oh wait, and then I needed to make sure he gets what he wants, which is he gets to build a house. Don't like that. He is going to build food. Now, he's already built, there's already something in everybody, in every location. So, where does he not have food? He doesn't have food up here. Move the die. He doesn't have food up here. He doesn't have food down here. He does have this food. And he does have this food. So it's one of these 2. And He is in both provinces, so therefore he's just going to go straight alphabetical, which means T. So he's going to move this boat down here to make himself accessible to that location, and then he's going to build a house on this location. And then it produces. It produces. That's cool. So, oh, it can't produce. It can't produce because it has already produced. So there is a thing about that. He's going to do what? There is a thing about that. What is this he's doing? He is rolling his black die. Aha. Otherwise, nothing happens. Nice. Okay, cool. So it doesn't produce. Fine. I don't like that for me because it would have been the a great way to get some salt and some wheat, but it is what it is. Okay. Okay, so he's done that. And so that means the Mercator's done. So now I can finally use my Senator to get 2 cards. So I'm going to get this Weaver. It's going to take two cloth, because the cloth of where it's sitting, and the cloth for the location where it's at, the cloth for the cost of the card, and the brick for the cost of the card. So it's 2 fabric and a brick. So that's 1 card. It goes right into my inventory, though. Now, the second card that I want to buy. Do I want Mars? Mars points are for each of your colonists on the game board, the player receives 2 victory points. I don't have too many colonists. I think I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's 8 points. Then again, I can get more fabric now because I have a Weaver I can play. So I'm going to get 3 more fabric. So I could just do that. I don't have any wheat, but I could use the salt for that. The other option is this prefect, which would give me another Saturnus card. Saturnus for each province with at least one of your houses. So that could be 12 victory points. Sorry, let's see. 1, 2, there's 8 provinces on this island. So that's 8 victory points for another Saturnus card. So that's kind of a wash. I think I'd rather do that, though, because it's only a wine and 1 other resource. So I could give up one of my tools and get that prefect card, which wouldn't suck either, because then I can use it to produce. So let's do that. Let's get this prefect. This is good. Okay. So this prefect is 1 wine and 1 good of my choice. Boom, boom. And now I have another prefect. Cool. There's 3 cards left and 1 house to build, and that's that. Do I have another architect? There is no other architect. I have no choice but to Tribune at some point. But I just got a couple more cards. So I've got to be careful, because now from here on out, the longer I stretch this out, the more points he makes. So I think I need to be careful and just Tribune to get my architect, get the last house built, and call this thing a day. I think that's what I have to do. Otherwise, the longer I go, the more he builds, the more points, the more cards he gets, the more points. So we're just going to Tribune. I could, well, before I Tribune, I could produce and get a bunch of stuff. I could produce and do a Weaver. That would make it like 6 more. He's going to get 6 more points. I don't like that. I'd have to have $60 worth of stuff in order to counteract that, though. If I produce and I run the Weaver, I'm going to make 21 plus another 18, 40. I don't think I can make enough. I think I'm better off not producing right now and just Tribune. I think I am better off not doing that because he's going to make 6 victory points with me doing that. I don't think I can counteract 6 victory points. No, I don't know. Only if I can get cards. I think I've got to cut bait. I'm going to make it worse if I stick around. So we're going to Tribune. We're going to Tribune early. But I still managed to get 7 cards played. That's not nothing. So I do technically get a Forum card. So I will, yeah, I'll get this one that makes houses cheaper. Would have been nice to get that way earlier in the game, but for this last house I'm going to build, it'll make it cheaper at least by $1. That's not nothing. So I get to take back all my cards. Great. I get a colonist. So I'll go ahead and get a colonist. Am I in a place where I can build right away? Just want to see where am I actually going to build this thing? There are victory points to be had by having colonists, so I can do it. I just want to make sure I'm not shooting myself in the foot. I have a brick and I have a cloth, so the natural thing is to build cloth, but I can't. So maybe instead of getting a colonist, I build a tools somewhere. Yeah, there is a tools here. I could build this tools location. That's probably the thing to do. Okay, so I won't get a colonist. He will build a house for his best specialist, which is still the smith. So he is going to build his house. He can reach pretty much anything right now with the amount of specialists he's got. And we're just trying to see which tools he's not in. He technically will build here, but he's already here, so that would put him here. Yeah, it's going to be this one. Okay, he's built there. And then he gets to take another colonist. The only one he's got left is this guy on, so I don't even need to roll the die for him. 2 houses to my 1. Here goes. That's that. So the Tribune is done. Got my Forum card. Yep. Okay. All right. Let's build that house. I'm going to play that architect right away. I don't have to even move, I don't think. Oh, I do. I do have to move. Let's see. 1, 2. Okay. That's good enough. Build an adjacent cities. I'm going to build this tool location. Tools is $6. So 10. Drawback 4, I guess. 2, 4. Okay, so that was tools $6 because I'm building against him. So that's a tool and a brick. Boom, boom. Paid it, and my last house goes out there. Nope, not there. Here. There we go. I believe that is the end of the game. I believe it is immediate. I think he reacts. He does get a chance to react. So he's going to get his card. So let's see what he gets. He gets 3rd card. He gets his colonist. That's a bummer. Okay, end of the game. This is going to be interesting. Let's find out who wins. Okay, end of the game. Whoever takes the last card, yep, or builds their last house, yep. That was me. I built the last house, so I get the 7 points from this card, but we'll add those later. So I get the Concordia card for $7, for 7 points. Yep. Great. Final scoring. Final scoring is the same rules as Concordia. Contrarius scores all the gods on all its cards, face up and face down, following the usual rules in case of a tie, which I doubt we will tie. I would win because I have the Concordia card. Okay. So with that in mind, let's just run down the list, shall we? Vesta, the value of all goods in the storehouse. Well, at the end of the game, the most high value I can get out of assault is cloth, so I'm going to exchange that for cloth. Get to do that at any point. Okay. So I get to convert that down. So that is 14 bucks. So we will sell that for 14 bucks. And a 5, and we'll pull back 1. Okay. So it's 1 victory point per 10. So I've got 10, 20, 30, 3. So 3 points. 1, 2, 3. Scoot that out of the way. Okay. Jupiter. For each house inside a non-brick city, the player receives 1 victory point. Okay. How many Jupiter cards do I have? Not as many as I want. 1, 2, 2. Okay, so I get 2 points per house not in brick cities. So I ignore that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's 22 points. 22 points. 20 is 43, plus 2, 45. Okay. Might as well add the Concordia 7 points. I'll do that at the end, just to see if it ends up helping me. We'll add that at the end. Okay, so that's Jupiter. Saturnus. I'll put these over here, put those over there so I don't mess myself up. Saturnus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 Saturnus. For each province with at least one of their houses, the player receives 1 victory point. And I said I had how many? 5. So that's 5 victory points per province. I'm in every province. So that's 8 provinces times 5. Is that what I got? Yeah. So that's 40 points. 40 points. So that's 45 to 85. Okay? So that's Saturnus. Mercurius. Sadly, I don't know that I even have... Oh, I have 1 Mercurius card. Not surprising. For each type of good the player produces with their houses. I think I produce everything. So that's 5. Yes, I do produce everything. I do produce food. I do produce bricks, tools, wine, and cloth. Yes. So that's 2 victory points times 5 is 10. So that's 85 to 95. Mars. I have 1 Mars card. Sadly, I wanted more, but here we are. For each of his colonists on the game board, receive 2 victory points. I think I have 4. I do. I have 4 colonists on the board. 2 on foot, 2 by sea. So that's 8 victory points because I only have the 1 Mars card. So that's 95, 103. Okay, Minerva. I have 2 Minerva cards. For each city of the related city type, and these are, 1 is cloth and 1 is food. So I have 3 cloth. And this card is, I'll just put these both up so we can actually see them both. There we go. So right now I'm looking at the Weaver, and I have, it's 5 victory points per cloth city. I have 3, so that's 15 points for this one. 15, 18 points. There we go. And then my farms, I don't have as many farms. I have 1, 2. Yeah, I have 2 farms. And so that's 6 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 124 points. Now Vesta. Oh, Vesta's here. The value, okay. 1, what does that mean? Senator. Oh, I see. I see. I did Vesta earlier. Got it. And now finally, I have 7 for the Concordia card itself. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 31 points. All right. Now comes... this is going to be so brutal, you guys. This is going to be so brutal. Let me just organize these by... Oh, that's right. I also have 5 points for this Victoria tile. So let's just add that in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm at 136. Somehow I don't think that's going to be enough. We'll see. Let me just sort these by card type. That's what I should have done before, but here we are. Mars, Jupiter, Mercurius, Minerva, Mars, Saturnus, Mercurius. Okay. All right. Once more with feeling. He doesn't have goods, so he doesn't get anything for Vesta. Jupiter, he's got 4 Jupiter cards for each house inside a non-brick city. So, non-brick. He built a lot of bricks, so let's see. He gets 4. That's a brick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Let me just count that one more time. 1. Oh, sorry. No, that's right. That's right. 9. That's right. I thought for a second that I missed one, but I didn't. It's 9. 9 times 4 is 45 points. Yeah, 45 points. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. 45, 44, 22, 44, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll go to 49. So that is Jupiter done. And then we have Saturnus for each province with at least 1 house. I think he's in every province. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, he's in. So Saturnus, he's got 2. So that's 2 victory points times 2 is 16 points. Let's see, 49, 59, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 65. Okay, that's Saturnus. Mercurius. Each type of good the player produces. Does he not produce something? I'm sure he's produced everything. He does produce salt, but that doesn't matter. Let me just see. Bricks, wine, tools, cloth, food, and that's it. Oh yeah, he's produced them all. Got it. So these are 2 points each. So it's 30 points. That's not good. Is that right? 2, 4, 6 times 5. No, 12. Okay. 2, 4, 6. 6 times 5 is 30, right? I got that right. 30. So that's 95. Okay. Mars. Yeah, this is where he's probably going to kill me. We'll see. For each of his colonists on the game board, 2 points. Oh, that's not too bad. 2 points, and he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 2 is 12. Oof. 12 times 6. No. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 2 is 12. So 12 times 3. Yeah, 36 points. Okay. So 95. So it'll be 31 from 0. 31. Whoa. That's not good. That's not good at all. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Minerva. For each city of the related type. Well, he's got... Oh, he's going to get me. He's going to get me. Y'all, that's not good. He's going to beat me. Let's see. For every tool city he's got. Let's see. He's got 1, 2, 3. Is that it? That's probably all it's going to be. Yep. 3 times 3 is 9. Oh, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He beat me by 4 points. 4 points. Did I score my money? I did score my money. Yeah. I didn't miss anything. 4 points. Womp, womp. But you know what? That was a super tight game. And that's what I love about this game. A, you can never quite tell who's going to win it until you guys actually total up the points at the end. And B, you always feel like you have a shot. And I did. I probably played it one or two turns too long and gave him 3 or 4 extra victory points. Yeah, I know, right? That's okay though. I don't mind it. I feel like that was a good game. I really had a good time with that. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. I know I didn't win, but that's all right. Thanks again. Give me a follow, please, if you don't mind. I am 2 followers away. Just 2. Just need 2 more followers, and I'm going to make Twitch affiliate. And I could do it this month. This is a good month, if you don't mind following me. So, tune in next week for another plucky adventure. Sundays at 1 o'clock Pacific. So that's the end. That's all I got for you today. This has been Concordia with Solitaria and Salsa, playing the Corsica map. I'm really glad you were here. I love this game. It'll never leave my collection, probably top 10. And if you don't mind sticking around for the raid, let's make somebody's day. And that'll be that. So thanks again for joining me. We'll see you again next time. Take care.